Okay, I think I'm finally ready to start. Uh, Hello, everybody, all two viewers currently in the channel. My name is Coach-Pupil, and I'm here to bring you another CPL cast. Today, as you can see on screen, we have the Rogue Academy of Treble Starcrafters against Rhynadon's Revenge. We have the Tier 0 matches and a couple of Tier 1 matches with the players on screen. Before I get started, I just want to give a big shout out to all the CPL staff. As always, they're doing a great job keeping everything running, especially my man State Zero, who does so much work behind the scenes for all the back end of casting, all the scheduling, and getting replays out to people. And with that said, let's get into our first game here. All right, in the top middle, the yellow Protoss Doodle Doodle, and the bottom left, the white Terran Energy Bamboo. And before I say something wrong, let me double check what team these guys were. Yes, we have Doodle Doodle from R.A.T.S and Bamboo from Rhynadon Revenge. Alright, so PvT on this map, people talk about Sylvan a lot, how it's one of the best, like, new, like, quote-unquote standard maps. But it does have a lot of, like, small things that are unique about it, such as, like, the flat ramp to the natural, the, like, fake high ground third base, and, like, things about, like, where Protoss decides to expand can change the game a lot. Now, this is interesting. Pylon Scout in this matchup is basically unheard of. The only time you ever do this is, like, in, like, a two-player map, if you want to steal gas. So I'm interested to see what Doodle Doodle is going for with this really early scout. Because kind of the trend in this matchup is to delay the scout as much as possible. Like, some people even scout with their first Dragoon, right? So I don't really know. I'm curious to see what he's worried about. Like, is Bamboo known cheesing? Is Bamboo known for going, like, command center first? I don't know. By the way, just for my own sanity, if you are watching and you can hear me, just say something in chat, just because I, like, 9 times out of 10 I do something stupid with my mic and no one can hear me. So it'll soothe me a little bit if you could reassure me on that one. So we have the more normal looking scouting from Tyrion going out. I don't know what this early probe is for. We don't see anything wild out of Doodle Doodle. Maybe he was hoping to get a really early scout and go, like, 2-gate or something. I don't know. Gonna be annoying with this probe, but not annoying enough to delay the barracks. Hey, Hatchery Cake SC, thank you for helping me out there. Good to see you in the chat. But despite that really early scout, everything is looking very normal. That one factory, only one guy left in gas. I'm not going to see any kind of 2-fac or 1 base drop or anything like that. Only 1 Marine, so probably not an FD push unless he's deliberately hiding it. First goon is started. Probe, probably gonna get shot down before he can leave. Maybe, yes, okay. So that's a little annoying for Protoss. He got that early scout off, but not too big a deal. He stayed in long enough. Oh, well, look at this. I said it wasn't gonna be 2-fac, and that's exactly what it is. As soon as that probe died, Bamboo put those 2 SCVs back in gas and started that second factory. So Doodle might be in some trouble here if he doesn't figure this out. And we do have Marine production restarted, but there were like 3 or 4 Marines worth of time, I think, that probe was in there. So this 2-fac push is going to be hurt a little bit by the trickery here. Because those Marines can actually add up. They actually do a lot of DPS for their cost. So we do have a tank coming out of this first factory. Nothing in the siege shop or machine shop, the machine shop just yet. We do have 2 machine shops. We're probably going to see a lot of tanks. Maybe go out with 3 tanks, then follow up with vultures. And we do have a goon here from Doodle. Is he actually going to go far enough forward to check on the expansion? This is something that you have to do as Protoss. Even if they have a bunker here, you have to run up and actually check if there's a command center. So he has gone far enough to see that. Is he going to poke in to see what he sees inside the Terran base? Yes, so he does see a tank. He sees that marine production restarted. He might be able to figure out that something aggressive is coming here, but he takes a bunch of free damage on his goon. His range is not done yet, so he can't kite effectively. We do have a standard Nexus timing out of Doodle. I don't really see anything that tells me he's... Okay, well, that's not super standard. We have a Citadel almost done. I should have caught that earlier. If you can get a DT out, it pretty much shuts down a 2-fac. But I feel like it's going to be on the way. Yeah, it looks like he hasn't quite started his Templar Archives yet. Maybe he's panicking here a little bit. We see this second gateway in the Robo before that, so it makes me think that he's abandoned that. Or I need to stop making calls. I need to wait like 2 seconds. So he hasn't abandoned it, but he has delayed it, so I don't think a DT is going to save him, at least from the first wave. Oh, and so he ambushed the push here while I was distracted, but that gave these vultures time to run by. And they are going to take full advantage of this, mining up the choke point, chasing down this one goon and getting in the mineral line. This is going to be really bad for Protoss. This vulture is going to murder all the probes, and the mines are just cleaning up every goon. Really nice army movement from Bamboo, taking advantage of the mistake in positioning from his Protoss opponent here. That was good solo. These vultures can get skilled if they want. They don't even have to. Trying to wall off, very nice, but too little, too late. Did he get speed and mines? Wow, that's pretty brutal. This is why 2-fac is a pretty good build. We have another tank coming up. How many kills we have on these soldiers? 4 on just these 2, but we can see Terran is getting a bigger and bigger lead. Something that's finished with the siege? I don't know. Should pay more attention. So we do have a 1 DT coming out. It's all Doodle can't afford, but there's already mines in his own base. And these vultures can just outrun a DT anyway. This placement of this pylon earlier on was a smart thing to do. Keep the vultures from getting all the way back behind the minerals, but just not going to be enough. There's only these 9 probes struggling to mine from these patches. Doodle trying to keep them from going too close to the vultures. Oh no, he got greedy with the goon. And now the vultures know they can just get in there. Where'd that DT go? So the DT is trying to cross the map, but Bamboo smartly put that mine there, and Doodle taps that anyway. So really well done, 2-fac. Game music too loud? Thanks, I can fix that. Here, I'll turn everything down. There we go, okay. Let me know if it still needs adjustment. But anyway, that was a very well done 2-fac from Bamboo there. Did a really good job hiding it and then executing it. Now we'll get to game 2 on Shakura's Temple. Okay. I tweaked the volume just a little bit. Let me know if that works. In the meantime, in the bottom right, we have the red Protoss getting a little bit wrecked last game. It's Doodle Doodle. And in the top left, again, as the white Terran, it's Bamboo. So this map, I have very little experience with this matchup on this map. Thanks, Shafir, for the help with the audio. I appreciate it. So I was saying I have less experience on this map with this matchup just because I'm new to playing on this map. It's kind of cool that it's in ladder now. Like CPL picked it first and then it got ladder. You know, we are trendsetters. there is a lot of weirdness around the area outside your natural, and I don't remember how to reveal all of the terrain. Nope, that's not it. I don't know how to do that, but so we'll get there when we get there. Oh, another really early scout from Doodle. I don't know what this is for. He did the same thing last game, like Pylon Scout, and I just don't know what it's for, especially on like a big 4-player map. Like, there's no way you're gonna get off a gas steal or something like that. So I'm really curious what this is about. Like I said, on this map, that really is the most difficult area of the map, I think, and most unique. Like, you leave your natural, you come to this like low ground area that's surrounded by these 3 big ramps. So there's a lot of like, you can ambush your opponent when they're trying to get up the ramp. You know, you can get stuck, you can get like sieged from there. So I'd be interested to see if we see a lot of fights in that area. And then of course in the middle, it's unbuildable, so you can't like build any proxies in the middle, and like Terran can't defend all of their pushes with turrets. There's only a couple spots in these areas where Terran can build turrets, so it makes a lot of Terran pushes a bit weaker because of that. So everything is looking normal again from Bamboo, but of course he could opt to just pull out that sneaky 2-fact again. So this is like another reason that R.A.T.S doesn't usually scout this early, is that 9 times out of 10 you're not really going to get much information out of a Terran player. It's like they're either going like CC first, or they'll have a Marine here to kill your probe in time before you see very much. But back at home, we are also seeing the R.A.T.S player doing everything just as standard as last game. Yeah, so Bamboo has gone back to putting 1 guy in gas, but it's not last game. He can just put 2 more as soon as he clears the scout out. And this is a really smart way to play a series. Like, have your openings all look the same, and then have a bunch of different branches that go from that. It makes it so hard for your opponent to read. And this is one of the things that's really cool about CPL, is getting the chance to play in a series format. Because it's so different than just playing a bunch of faceless people on ladder. There's so many mind games. There's so much learning you can do over the course of like 1 series. That's one of the reasons that I really appreciate playing in this tournament. Oh my god, really? Okay, there we go. All right, the scouting SCV is taken down. Looks like this time... Oh, nope, there's 2 guys in gas again. But we have a command center. I don't know if the guys in gas are a mistake. I don't know if Terran builds enough. I thought it was always 1 guy in gas until your expansion is done. But we do have confirmation that it's not going to be a 2-factory push like last game. It could be a fact CC fact, which can be a really hard build to deal with for R.A.T.S. That could be why the second and third guys are still in gas. The R.A.T.S expansion is started as well. I think turn 1 went down, yeah, just a little bit faster. So that's going to feel really good for Terran. Looks like Doodle went for a 28 Nexus, just feeling a little bit unsafe after last game. But it's certainly not too slow of a build. And we see he's going for that Citadel again. He didn't really get to pull off everything that he wanted to in the last game, but he really just wants to make some DTs in this series today, and I can't hate him for that. I have such a hard time pulling out DT builds in this matchup. I know they're good, I'm just really bad. They require like lots of multitasking and like precise mind sniping and dodging and stuff. So this time looks like he's going to get that archive started as soon as Citadel finishes. Come on. Come on. Don't make me look wrong. There we go. Alright. Close enough. And this time I think we still only have... Yeah, we have 1 factory. The second factory started a little bit later. I think this is too late after the command center to be like a true fact CC fact. I think you'd want to have like a 3rd tank just about now and be pushing out. That feels right to me. So it looks more just like a standard like build up a little bit on 2 bases, probably get a quick 3rd base. So looks like Bamboo is just getting this eBay at a standard time. I don't think he's seen anything that would sniff out the DTs, but it's just one of those things that Terran builds have to account for. There's a lot of different like tech follow-ups that a Protoss can do in this matchup, and kind of every Terran build you have to either like address them or just accept that you're taking a risk. And that's why we see this eBay coming up at this time. Oh, it's DT drop. I didn't even see the robo. Where's the... There it is. Okay. So this is even spicier. And this could actually do a decent amount of damage. I need to look up this... I'm going to copy this build because I could never pull this off properly. Like, I only have like 1 gateway, so I have 1 DT, which is like really bad. And this is the thing. So it depends on what Terran is trying to cover with these turrets. Because they want to build as few as possible. So we see a couple in the natural and 1 in the main, and that 2 in the main. Okay, so this is starting to be more, but you'll notice that there's none by the main mineral line, and that gives a decent opportunity for DTs to sneak in and get some damage if Doodle is on top of his micro. You know, Terran, like, they have to place turrets basically for DTs and for Reavers, and they kind of require different placement. So it looks like he's setting up for Reavers mostly with this like token turret in the front for DTs. I like this pylon here. It's going to scout for the 3rd expansion. It's going to delay that just a little bit. It's a nice little play. So here comes the drop. Really interested to see how this goes. Hope he doesn't fly right into 2 turrets. It's going to be a major feels bad man. These turrets are so perfectly placed. They hit the range exactly to hit the shuttle when it gets there. Very nice. So 1 DT gets out here, but there's no way he can take down that turret. He gets picked off immediately. Really fast a reaction from Bamboo. And this is kind of how it goes when I go DT drop. I get shut down immediately and like brutally. And Terran is going to feel really, really nice right now. You know, they've completely shut down the major investment for Protoss so far. It's not game over for Doodle, certainly. This tech is going to transition into Arbiter really quickly, and Arbiter is, you know, as everybody knows, a very strong unit, a very strong tech choice in this matchup. He only lost 1 DT, so he still has that shuttle. He still has 1 DT in there. So it's not like a huge loss. And I actually do like his choice to be more conservative with this drop. You know, it's so easy to just try to a YOLO in there and try to get some damage done, and then end up losing everything. So I can certainly appreciate that. So we're going up to 4 factories, starting to get to the point where we're looking, yeah, so we see a starport and 4 factories before we see any kind of 3rd command center in this base. So that makes me think Bamboo is gearing up for some kind of strong 2-base push, not like a 4-fac or 5-fac, like super fast push, because we are going to get those vessels. So it's something more like in like the 150 supply range kind of push. And this is kind of what Arbiters are made to deal with, isn't it? That's kind of my understanding. Like the fast stasis on Arbiters is great for this kind of push. So hopefully, for Doodle's sake, he'll be able to get those Arbiters running, get that tech running. We do have, is this the energy upgrade? Yeah, so it looks like he's doing the trick where you start the energy upgrade just a little bit before the first Arbiter. And then it should complete like a few seconds before the Arbiter does. So you end up with that bonus energy, and then you can get stasis afterward. I've heard so many arguments as to like which way is better. I just get the stasis first because it's easier. It's cheaper. I used to do the energy first, but if you're bad and like you forget an upgrade, it's really bad when you end up with, oh, I have an Arbiter with 250 energy and no spells. But we'll see if Doodle can pull off the basic task of starting an upgrade when one finishes. So this Observer getting a lot of relevant information here. Looking at all these tanks, 10 tanks, and I'm sure we're going to see waves of supporting units come out to support them. Yeah, there we go. The Observer, this is really powerful for Protoss to see this, especially on this map with all these ramps. It's really important to see your enemy's arm movement. Oh, here we go. The shuttle is back, still has that DT. If Doodle wanted to, he could really micro the hell out of Terran here. Drop the DT as soon as the scan goes up, pull it back up, keep doing that. just delay the push as much as possible. Looks like he's being a little passive with this. But he does have his own army coming up here. Taking a little bit of damage to mines. Nothing too critical. This Arbiter, see, the thing is, like, it has this max energy, but it doesn't have the stasis. And we don't have the stasis research. It's going to be done before he has the energy. So he's going to have to milk scans from the Terran, I think. He's going to have to use this drop. Force out as many scans as possible, but these Goliaths are getting here before he can pull that off. And this is going to be a pretty strong position for Terran. It's going to be really hard for Protoss to attack up this ramp. I think you just have to go around. But even then, it's going to be scary with the way these tanks are laid out. How many scans do we have? I'm just curious. We got 2 scans here. So we have 5 scans. I think it's way too late to try to use this DT to force 5 scans. Oh, we have turrets going up. I like that the way that Bamboo maneuvered himself into this position where he's in this area where you're allowed to build turrets. It's smart use of the map, because you can't really build very many here. He's doing a really good job being really patient, forcing himself down that ramp. These tanks are maybe a little bit farther back than I would like, but maybe they're covering this flank. Doodle trying to add these Zealots, having trouble getting them positioned without getting picked off by these tanks. This is a really well executed push from our Terran player. Oh, in the meantime, who needs recall when you can just walk across the map? Doodle trying to force like a base trade here. Let's see how well it works out. There's not much defense, just a bunker, and these 2 tanks aren't even set up yet. Can these Zealots get on the tanks? Oh, a stasis on all these defending units here. This could be pretty scary for Terran. There's not much here to defend. But it's also scary for Protoss. Okay, this is when you go in. Send in all the speed Zealots while the tanks are on siege. Oh, he's definitely looking over here or macroing or something, or else he would absolutely be pouncing on this army. Nothing is sieged. There's another Arbiter up. Mines dragging into the tanks. What? Wow, I can't believe how fast Doodle turned this situation around. And he's winning on both fronts. He's taken the natural and defended his own. That was a really sick play. I'm really impressed by like how perfectly he split up his army. And how he kind of like broke Bamboo's patience. Bamboo was being super patient with his push, but he didn't leave enough home to defend, and now there's like a very sizable Protoss army here. We have enough vultures and mines here. I don't know if this army can... Yeah, this army can't go in the main, but it doesn't need to. Terran is down to 1 base. One mining base, at least. And Protoss, they lost some units, but they didn't lose any probes. They didn't lose any bases. They kept both their Arbiters alive. And that's going to be really good for Doodle. He's absolutely in a commanding position in this game. As I look at the supply numbers and realize he's over 100 ahead. So yeah, kind of obvious on that one. A few mines placed very annoyingly exactly where Doodle would want to expand here, but you don't really need a 4th base when your opponent's on, your opponent is retaking their natural at 14 minutes into the game. We have another big force coming out here for Doodle. I think this is going to win the game. There's just not that much. I like he D-Matrix to stop like 2 Zealots. D-Matrix and Master Prep this tank. He's really desperate to stay in this game, but I don't think it's going to be enough against all these units here. A few vultures trying to run by, but it's just not going to be enough. See this army coming in here. You're going to see another... Yep. Stasis on 3 SCVs and a tank, but that's enough when the Terran army is this small. I think this time he's going to get up the ramp, get to that main, kill even more SCVs, and I don't see how Bamboo can come back from this. It was such a good defense of that push from Doodle. Bamboo kind of invested everything into that strong 2-base push. So it's really hard to follow up that. Yeah, here we go. Okay. There we go. Alright, we're going to game 3. Very nice. Alright, we're going to Eclipse for game 3. And who do we have here? We have in the top right, sporting the magenta trucks this time, the Protoss player Doodle. And in the bottom left, Bamboo, once again in the white Terran. So Eclipse, Another map that I'm relatively new to. Obviously, it's been in the map pool for a while longer than Shakura's. I'm just bad. You hear a lot of things about this map in this matchup. I think the general idea is that the longer the game goes, the better it gets for Terran. You know, early on, these kind of like two-fact pushes have a big problem with the all the ramps in the middle of the map. Makes it really easy for goons to get off a lot of pot shots on tanks as they're trying to push forward. The natural is really far away from the third base, kind of distance and the way that they're angled, and that can make it hard for Terran to defend both effectively. But once Terran gets that third base up, and once we get into the like later parts of the game, the Terran army is so well on this map. Like the paths are like just the right width for the Terran army, and like just small enough to punish the Protoss players who don't move like perfectly. So we'll see another really early scout from Doodle, but this is like the one map where I think it makes sense because you could threaten a gas steal if you wanted, but look at that, Bamboo immediately, even before his barracks, just pulls a guy out over there, gets the gas, doesn't want to get stolen. So I really don't understand this early scout that much from Doodle, but again, on a two-player map, it's much easier to get there in time. He has kind of messed up the Terran build just a little bit by getting this gas so early. He's forced a pulled SCB, so I feel like that this is probably what he was going for every game. I just don't think you're very likely to get this kind of result on a four-player map. I did look at the timing on this gateway. Okay, so I think it was still 10. We have pretty much a forward gate from Doodle. I guess, yeah, forward gate would be like here. But that's just going to delay the Zealot by a few seconds. So, trying to get some early aggression here, but look at this Bamboo getting this wall off. Nice reaction. I don't think he even scouted it. Probably just sensing it from the early probe. Sensing that the Doodle wanted to be aggressive. And as a Protoss player, I hate this. This is so miserable. I've gotten into several arguments with Neblime about the merits of these walls, and I really feel like Terran should just do it every game. I feel like the cost, like there is a cost, but it's really small compared to the potential reward. And I guess obviously like Protoss hasn't invested too much into this, right? Like it's just one Zealot. The core is just like a little bit later. But it feels so bad, man, when you go for this early Zealot, and there's absolutely nothing it can do. Like all you're gonna do is damage one of these depots, the Marine's gonna come over and shoot you. Like, if you invest more into forward gate, like if you actually get it down here, if you get it on 9, if you end up delaying your stuff more, it feels so bad when you finally scout the turn. They don't have very much. We don't have anything being pulled to hit this depot. I think there's plenty of time. Yeah, here we go. This one SCP is going to show up, but a decent amount of damage. The probe is staying alive for longer than it has in the past, getting a slightly better read on Bamboo's build. Gonna try to sense out any two-fact shenanigans. Looks like we'll probably just see a siege expand based on this machine shot before any vultures. So Bamboo is a bit spooked from all these ideas of early aggression from his Protoss opponent. Siege expand is like it's one of those builds that I would say like if you're new to the matchup, or if if you're just struggling to get into the mid game, just do siege expand. Like, well, looks like we have mines, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, siege expand, it's like it's slow, but it's very safe. Like you shouldn't really die to anything. Might expand is a bit more fragile, but you can also get some map control. You can shut down dumb stuff like DTs or like the mass speed zealot all in with mines. But just a little bit more fragile. Like the Protoss is really good at microing its mines, or put them in slightly the wrong place. It's just a little bit less safe. But a player like Bamboo, I'm sure you can pull it off. Oh, okay. I don't know what I need to like pay attention to the game before I start talking about builds, because this is obviously going to be a drop. You get the starport even before. Oh nope. Okay, so after he started building the command center, but before it finished. So not the fastest possible drop, but still pretty fast. And it's going to be down to Doodle's ability to sniff this out. And I feel like Bamboo, once again, is kind of engaging in that trickery, doing a decent job trying to cover up what he's doing. So it's going to be hard for Doodle to figure it out, I think. At least it would be for me. Maybe he knows more about this game than I do. I don't know if I would figure it out from seeing these vultures here. These mines are going to be placed to keep the goons from checking out the expansion, I think. Although Doodle's doing a really good job getting around that mine. Wow, getting around all the mines, sniping that mine. This is the risk of going for these mine first and drop builds. Your defense is so fragile, and if Doodle gets in there with this really nice micro, can he snipe that mine? Can he snipe this mine? Really nice. Gets the vulture even. Now it's just one tank against 3 goons. One goon does go down. Tank trying to draw them back into the mines. Goons are not falling for it. They're going to sit here and just be really annoying. So this shouldn't like kill the base or anything. We have the SCVs here to repair the tank, but he's going to lose mining time. He's going to lose some workers, and he lost 2 vultures, I think, maybe 1 vulture. And that's going to slow down the drop. It's going to slow down Bamboo's build. But does it make up for losing all those goons? I think normally you would be happy with that trade as R.A.T.S, but you're going to need every goon to stop these drops. So we'll see how that turns out. Although there's only 2 vultures, it's not nearly as scary. We have more vultures coming? Yes. And this one used all of the mines trying to defend. So the drop has a been weakened. And in the meantime, Doodle is going up to 5 gateways on 2 bases and getting a shuttle. I think he's sensed this like early fragility out of Bamboo, and he's going to try to punish it with a bust. And this probably is going to be the exactly right response to the drop, as long as he doesn't take too much damage. Because, I mean, what does Terran have to defend? They have 2 tanks and a vulture at home now, right? Like, they're going to get more by the time the bust shows up, but they're still going to be pretty fragile. Looks like the drop is avoiding the middle of the map. Very smart. Doesn't want to run into this observer. Doesn't want to run into these goons. But Doodle's being maybe a little bit aggressive just too early. Nothing is in the main. If the dropship was just angled just a bit differently and kept moving, it could do a ton of damage. But as it happens, it looks like both players are going to hit each other at the same time, roughly. Oh, I really hope Bamboo doesn't forget about this drop. This whole game has been about this drop. His observer getting in here, enough to kill the mines, enough to see that there's basically nothing here from Terran. Okay, looks like Doodle is keeping some units at home. The shuttle hasn't moved that yet either. But does he even need it? Is he going to be able to just dive on these tanks? Well, he's forced Bamboo to pull the boys. Getting some good snipes on the boys. There we go. Going for the tanks. Can't repair that quickly. One goes down. And Doodle isn't even committed here yet. Oh no, where's the dropship? Oh, here it is. Okay. Dropship gets to the main. There's just a couple of zealots in these shuttles here. Oh no! The mine takes out 2 of the vultures. This drop is basically over. Yeah, now these goons are here. Super unfortunate for Bamboo. And in the meantime, again, Doodle is just destroying the naturals. So both players going for these like early aggression builds, but Bamboo going for the like trickery, and Doodle just going for the fist. These mines, very nicely placed mines, going to clean up these goons, but I think it's too late because there's just vultures here to defend, and there's quite a few vultures, but we have more goons. There's dropships coming. I don't think it's going to be enough. Well, they're not as many goons as I thought. There's a team micro map challenge. You know, if these goons beat all these vultures. Seems like Doodle's doing a great job not getting surrounded and dying. Getting into mines here. And Bamboo, like the whole series, depends on Bamboo's vulture micro here, I think. Ooh, very nice mine placements. Killing some of those goons and bruising the rest. But there's no meat behind these vultures because we have 2 tanks popping. Oh, sieging right under the shuttles. I don't know if I like that. A ton of zealots coming out here directly on top of these tanks. These goons need to just go up the ramp. Yeah, forget the nazzle. While everything is distracted. More mines. Oh, are they going to go on all these SCVs? They get some of them. Cleaning up the units that got into the main, but we have a couple more units. And Terran is scrambling to get any units out, trying to fight this. Looks like this wave will be enough, I would guess. Oh, but more shuttling? More shuttling? Maybe. There was a mine here. I think Terran killed it. Dropping more directly on this tank, which makes mass repaired. Defended by these vultures. Wow, the tank actually makes it, but nope, never mind. Alright, these goons are heroes. They take out 2 tanks. And I think Bamboo is like fighting for his life, doing really well here, but it's just not enough. These factories got up too late. He lost too many units in the drop, too many units early. And we just see the Gateway Man stomping in here. Like so many SUVs. Command center is burning down. There's still 2 goons in the main. Oh, these mines are going to kill so many workers. Or not. They just perfectly hit only the goons. Sick. But Manatee, we're going to see the rest of the series, like the names of the players, just a little bit. We have 4 series on today. This is Game 3 of Series 1. And see other players on each of these teams in the Tier 0 and some of the Tier 1 maps. So finally we have these Sea Shanks not being dropped on, finally on the high ground, but it's too late to actually defend the natural. It looks like he repaired that command center, which is smart, because there's so many Terran players who just let their command centers burn down, and it really hurts me inside, because like as a Protoss player, if I could repair Nexuses, I feel like my win rate in like PvZ would go up like 10%. But also not pulling back this command center enough, so let's get Wilkes sniped in the end. Dropping goons on tanks, not the most efficient, but you know, you can afford to take these kind of trades when you're this far ahead. It lets him force his way up the ramp after killing that natural command center. I feel like that's like shutting down the dreams of Terran in this matchup. Losing that natural command center, there's really no effective way to come back. You can't support all of these factories for long. You definitely can't support this starport. And we already know that the Protoss army can win on the field. He gets a 3rd off under the vision of this vulture. So just another insult here to Bamboo. And the vulture gets cleaned up. So Doodle is in a great position. He's going to get 3 bases. He's got a big standing army. It's going to be really simple for him to defend any drops or shenanigans. Looks like Bamboo is just going to go for his own push. But only 3 tanks and a bunch of vultures. And we have so many goons. I don't think this is... I'd be amazed if this was able to win the game for Terran. But you can't blame him for trying. Especially with this like great positioning. Setting up for a flank, covering all the routes. And just here, I think this is probably enough goons to win this. Doing very well kiting. Not getting totally surrounded. But 1 mine is going to get off right in the middle of all those goons. So much damage for that mine. But yeah, here we go. We have these shuttles filling back up the zealots. And these tanks are kind of bruised. And yeah, it looks like Bamboo's realized that he can't end the game here. Did buy him enough time to start the natural command center once again. This mine could be brutal later, like if a goon wanders by with a bunch of probes, but it looks like Doodle will catch it. And the third Nexus is up. We have a cannon here to defend that base. I like this mine just hanging out here in this base. Give him, you know, vision of like, oh my god, I hate this. There's so many maps now in the ladder pool where this happens. You just have to avoid building gateways anywhere on the route between like your main mineral line and your natural mineral line, like, or just the ramp, I guess. It's so annoying when you look in your base and see there's like 12 probes just bugging out on your gateways. Trying to see what kind of follow-up we're going to see. We have the Citadel done. I assume we're going to see Arbor check again. Those same 3 tanks are coming back, but now there's even more Protoss. Both shuttles are full of zealots. We have more zealots. We have speed for those zealots. Terran is just trying to get their natural reestablished behind 20 workers. The observer is going to see everything. Don't have an observer on this path right now, but yeah, Doodle has sent it out. Looks like he has enough units to just charge up this ramp. Who cares about high ground advantage? Drop zealots behind the tanks. There's just way too much here for Protoss. That bush gets cleaned up, and there's really nothing here to defend the Terran base. really trying to lay down mines. A few units walking into them, but these shuttles are going to fly right on top of the main tanks here. And Terran getting really good trades with these mines and these siege tanks now, but it's just too much for us. And there we go. Bamboo taps out after winning a really dominating game 1. Doodle kind of pulling it off with smart army movement and good aggression in this last game. Alright, that is going to win the first series for R.A.T.S. That being said, let's get into Series 2 here. I'm excited to see these players play, even though it is a TVT. Neblime, one of the main casters for CPL. So I'm excited to see him in action here in this next game. Alright, in the magenta Terran in the top middle, we have Ninju. And in the bottom left, mistyping his D&D command, it's Neblime in the bluish-gray Terran. Now, obviously, I'm a R.A.T.S player. You know, I'm too small brain to comprehend the depth of TVT. But this is a 3-player map. You know, it's pretty much impossible to split the map evenly. So we're going to see lots of aggression, I think, trying to claim bigger chunks of the map than the other player. We have this. I don't know how much the low ground main matters. I don't know if you see like 3-fag vulture or something, try to overwhelm the defenders, something like that. Build a depot. Build a depot. So I'll just try to bear with me through this matchup, guys. A little bit before we see any kind of a deviation from my players. Looks like nobody's, BBSing or building their first barracks too far from the main. There we go. This barracks is going to be a position to fly off and scout later. I'm sure we're going to see the same thing here from Neblime. Just about. Looks like maybe this barracks will stay home a bit longer, maybe, based on the placement. Now, I've said this before on cast, and I've said it to Neblime. Like, last season, I casted so many TVTs by myself, and there's so many games where it was like one player went 1-fac expand, and the other player went 2-fac, and the 2-fac push never won. Like, the 2-fac player pretty much lost every game. Last week, I was casting with Flash for the Win, and we talked about that, and we had a game where the 2-fac push failed, but the player who did it ended up winning the game. And that was like the first time I've seen the player who went 2-fac ever win this matchup. I'm curious to see if we see that again here, or we see, both players expand, or maybe even like a 3-fac vulture or something like that. But so far, looking very similar from both players. Second depot before factory. Is that normal? Okay, here we go. Factory actually going down a little bit earlier for Neblime. Looks like Ninju was a bit distracted, probably with the scout. Here we go. Starts just a few seconds later, but still, both players are basically doing the same build. Just looks like Neblime might be a little bit ahead on the tempo. Dropping down to 1 guy in gas. Probably not going to see 2 factories, but again, we saw how that went last series when I made that kind of assumption about what Terra can do. Both players getting scouts off, getting chased around by Marines. Where is Neblime's Marine? Okay, here it is. So actually not chasing around the Marine. Ninju's just getting pre-scouting off. But still very standard, so I don't know how much information he's really getting out of this. There we go, the Marine does come home. He's eventually going to get rid of that scout. Ninju has lifted his command center much faster. I don't know if this means anything. I don't know if it's like he's committing to not building any more Marines. Doesn't look like Neblime is building more Marines anyway. I don't know if he's just worried about early aggression. He might need to make more Marines. It is going to give Ninju a bit of an advantage. Get that vision. Get a scout that's harder to kill. Put it up here. check out the natural. Could come in handy later if we see like siege lines around Neblime space. So we do. He has resumed during production. Is it maybe because he scouted the Vulture? I'm not sure. But it doesn't look like either player is really planning to go super aggressive anytime soon. Both players starting second factories, starting machine shops. Getting their second base. It's looking very similar from both sides. Looks like we're gearing up for a big economic game here. The barracks not trying to hide somewhere safe, just flying right over these Marines. It has a billion health, so it'll definitely be able to make it into the main. I feel like it would have been better here or something, because it is going to burn down if he continues this flight path. Looks like Neblime maybe setting up for a third factory. Doesn't seem too unusual, but it is a deviation, it seems like, from Ninja. We only see 2 factories still out of him. Is this SB going to build one? Looks like it might be headed off to build Starport? Nope, just a depot. Okay. So we do finally have some kind of deviation here from our players. Neblime heading up to that third factory. It looks like he is going to hit some kind of 3-fact Vulture build. So he might be able to grab some early map control if Ninjube isn't careful. Looks like Ninjube is going to start moving out here. And I was wrong about this barracks. It is able to get out after scouting those factories, so well played there from Ninjube. But we do have already a small Vulture count lead from Neblime. Oh, but they're split up, so Ninjube might get some early kills, and now Ninjube is just a little bit ahead, giving him a few more seconds before Neblime can find him really. Oh, and pouncing right before these reinforcements here, picking off one more Vulture. Really nice play here from Ninjube. Despite being down on factories, it's taking advantage of Neblime being just a little bit scattered. And we do have, so Ninjube is staking on 2 factories, starting to get tanks, starting to get that armory somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Get those upgrades going, maybe get some Goliaths to help deal with Vultures. Neblime sticking to Vultures, getting his own armory now, but getting the speed upgrade. Probably going to see mines soon. Here we go. And Neblime finally starting to move out on the map with these Vultures. Looks like he's checking for proxies, checking for maybe Vultures waiting in the corner to backstab. So I would presume that Neblime is going to do something with this map control, like take a base, set up a contain, something like that, but we don't see any tanks yet from Neblime. Here we go. A big flock of Vultures headed out. Is it enough to kill this? I mean, it's 2 more Vultures, but there's a tank. Looks like it's 4 more Vultures now, but it's not confident enough to like dive on here, and it's probably the right play with these 2 tanks here. Probably have to mine really well to take care of those tanks. I don't know if you really have to commit that hard. Going up to 4 factories here, but Ninjube going up to 5. Still no tanks from Neblime. Am I seeing that right? Yeah. It's being really annoying, putting down a ton of mines at this potential third base. Actually not blocking the command center, which is kind of funny. But this is also the main attack path that Ninjube would take, and he is now mining the second mine path, or the second attack path. So locking in that map control for now. He's going to see just about everything his Terran opponent does if he tries to move out. We finally have tanks and siege mode coming out for Neblime. And I would really expect to see either a contain setup or a third base based on my very limited understanding of this matchup. Someone has scans. Looks like Neblime scanning his opponent. Just figuring out exactly. Oh, no. Neblime doesn't have scans yet, so it's obviously Ninjube scanning. Sick. Using that barracks to scout his army going up. Ooh, big mine hit on that tank, and he gets picked off. But does end up losing 2 Vultures for it. I don't know if that's worth it or not. Who knows? But a tank is dead. Probably worth it. Based on the cost of the units, I would assume. It looks like Ninjube is basically like slowly crawling further from his base. Oh, here we go. We have a siege tank set up, protected by these mines. Gonna keep Ninjube from taking this third or moving farther along this path for now. And at the same time, finally, I've been calling this for like 6 minutes. A third base starts for Nibelheim. And I think this is smart. It looks like Ninjube is going to have a trouble pushing across the map for now. With all these mines set up, and even some tanks for Nibelheim walling it off. Looks like some Vultures maybe threatening a run by, but mostly just putting a mine down here at this potential expansion. Vulture blocking this expansion. So Nibelheim is basically very gradually strangling his opponent to death. You know, like it's starting with like a handshake, then we do a hug, and then eventually like choke him out. We have some Vultures fighting here in the middle. Looks like we actually have more for Ninjube right here. Way more than I thought. That went way better for Magenta than I thought it would. And in some way, Ninjube has broken this contain. Looks like he's hunting for expansions. There is this third base here, but we have 2 tanks and a Goliath. I think this is enough Vultures that if they're really committed, they could kill these tanks. In the meantime, oh my god, really? Really? That tank can hit that command center. That's annoying. Terran is silly. And this barracks can't see that? Wow. It's like just barely in the corner. So these tanks doing really well here, keeping up the contain on this fake high ground base. Vultures maybe trying to come around for a flank here. Oh, a big army moving out from Ninjube, trying to get around these siege tanks. Looks like they will scout it out, but I think there's just enough here. We don't have the tanks focusing on the other tanks. They're trying to do that now, but I think it's too late. Most of these tanks from Ninjube stay alive. We have some reinforcements from Nibelheim trying to stop this advance. Sounds like mines took out a tank over here. But we still have way more tanks for Ninjube here. Is it enough to break this line? I honestly don't know. I don't know this matchup. But even saying all this, it sounds like those Vultures got cleaned up or didn't try to take out this base. So Nibelheim still has gotten away with this third base. Ninjube setting up his own. It is at a full mineral base, but it's only a mineral base. This fake high ground base has less than the maximum amount of resources at it, so it will mine out faster for Nibelheim, but it does give them the juicy gas, which is way more important in this matchup. So I think given the faster start time and better resources of this base, Nibelheim is going to get farther and farther ahead in this game as long as he can stop Ninjube from pulling off more of these moves that weaken his contain. So both ways of doing at home. So we have a science facility started or finished for Nibelheim. Probably just get those +2 upgrades, like we see here. More factories going up. Just 6. I have a feeling that Ninjube has way more. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Ninjube going up to 8. Should be paying attention to the same fighting. So we have some Vultures from Nibelheim taking out a few tanks, laying down mines, buying time for Nibelheim's tanks to show up here. Oh, hey, Nibelheim in the chat, in space. Good to see you guys. Hopefully I understand CBT enough to do a cast that makes any sense. Looks like these Vultures are trying to escort these tanks over here. Keep this contained, stretched out. This looks like enough units for me that if Ninjube knew what was going on here, he could break this. But there's so much going on here. It looks like that third base does actually land. So actually this is a 4th base. I was completely miscounting this. So actually Ninjube is in a position to get the economic lead eventually. What is this? What is this? This is funny. I guess this is mostly for drops, is my guess. It also would stop a base from expanding here, but I don't think Ninja would ever land there. I feel like these tanks... Did that tank actually reach that turret? That's ridiculous. So I don't know. That's funny what's going on there. With a tank versus turret fight over there. This is very silly. So there is one mine here. It probably won't amount to anything, but I always get worried when I see mines in mineral lines. Then by building more random turrets, looks like this will actually detect these mines. So we're gonna see this SCV kill these mines. What is my life? The upgrades, like, looks like both players basically equivalent on the upgrades. Neblime is just a little bit ahead, which is funny because I think Ninju got his armory first, if I remember. Oh, killing the egg. Okay, I have a question for Neblime and the other Rhynadon's revenge people. So if you feel offended when people kill critters, what about like neutral eggs on the map? Like, does that count? Are they protected, or is it okay to kill them? I mean, we see that Neblime has not killed his egg, so maybe he does care about it. In the meantime, while I'm making dumb jokes, we do have just tanks killing some mines here. Nothing too major. I think Neblime is really reinforcing this angle of the contain, and Ninjube is trying to contest it. I think this makes sense. I think this is basically like the other third of the map, and this is what the players are going to fight over. You know, for the long game. Like, if Neblime can keep this contain up, he's going to have way more resources. But right now we have Ninjube trying to bust a ton of tanks, but this line is really nice from Neblime. But there's not very much here to support it. I guess Ninjube, it looks like he's going to have enough to bust. It looks like he timed this with his +2 upgrade. Going to let him two-shot his opponent's tanks. And that went really well for Ninjube. And now that's really scary. You can see Neblime like scrambling to get something over here to protect these two bases that he has going up. Is it going to be in time? There's only 3 tanks here to the many of Ninjube. So this is starting to look really scary for the Rhynadon player. Alright, according to chat, the neutral eggs are not critters. They're Zerg that should be exterminated, and I can't argue with that. And we have this push here coming in. Only 3 tanks, no mines, no defense. And this is going to be really scary for Neblime. Like, these bases are kind of doomed, I think. We have some defenders scrambling to get in position, but I feel like it's just a little bit too late. Although, to be fair, this base is starting to get mined out. Just about half of what it started with. A ton of gas has been extracted, so, like, does he even care? He just lifts his command center and flies it away. So the base itself, probably not that big of a deal right now, but the position is really dangerous. I mean, this base, he definitely wanted this base to stay up. Fortunately for Neblime, he has rotated. Oh my god, are we really? Alright. Okay, we just saw turrets take out a command center. Neblime still has plenty of bases to take and to extract from on this side of the map, but for the long-term future of this game, now Ninjube is the one who controls the extra third of the map, and now it's going to be Neblime's problem to break out, on the map and start knocking out pink bases. And it looks like he's ready to do just that. We have a push here. Not that many tanks from Ninjube here. Oh, here we go. A ton of reinforcements, but the tanks of Neblime are sieged way faster. And these tanks are just marching in here to a meat grinder. Finally, they stop and siege up, but so much damage has been done. I think it is enough to stop this push for now. We have a big lava units here from Ninjube, still threatening this side of the map, and they could come to flank this push. Alright, we do have those turrets being cleared out and a new command center being built fresh on site. Yeah, even still defended by one tank. And Nebulum, I feel like, just doesn't have... It feels like it doesn't have enough units, maybe not enough factories, to really contest Ninjube too much. It feels like Ninjube just has more tanks on every front. Here we go. Why would I say that? He does inch up just a little bit, but Ninjube reacts very fastly with the scan. Okay, very quickly with the scan, I should say. Keeping that push from going too much farther. Oh, two vultures sneaking into this fake high ground base. Gonna get a few SCB kills, but nothing too major, I would think, especially with all these fakes showing up. I should just play with this whole matchup, like totally zoomed out. And now, after I said that, there's not that many tanks here. It looks like maybe Nebulum can break this. Looks like he's deciding to inch up ever so slowly rather than just dive in there. Probably the smart way to play. I've played TBQ a few times in team melee, and I always lose all my tanks trying to be dumb and like attack in tank mode. Oh, I'm still just inching up, just barely. Trading a tank for a tank there. It's really hard for me to call these fights. I don't know who's going to win at all. Say Nebulum is very slowly taking ground, but Ninjube is bringing by reinforcements back to support this, trying to flank with these vultures, shut down this little movement here. Looks like that's gonna get shut down. Maybe yes. Okay. Oh, and Ninjube like taking this opportunity to just take all of these bases in this middle third of the map. Even has some Goliath here to stop vulture run by, stop drops. Really wants to just soak up as many resources as he can before Nebulum can break out. I think this barracks from like 20 minutes ago is going to go down. I mean, this might actually hurt Nebulum. I think he just needs more does he need more factories? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe one or two more and you'd be spending a bit more evenly, but again, I'm a small brain Protoss. All these things are so grouped up. There's gonna be so much splash damage from these defenders. Yeah. It's a big oof. So no expansion here. I thought maybe Ninjube expanded here too, but just blocking it. Looks like that command center did manage to live. Just hanging out in the corner of the map. Eventually aiming to retake that base. So let's see here. I don't see any big plans from Nebulum. I guess we have one starport making wraiths. I don't think that's going to totally swing the game. Oh, here we go. A big drop from Ninjube in this space here. Mine's getting shut down. Base being forced to lift. So many workers dying. Really nice play here from Ninjube. I didn't even see these dropships being built. This base is absolutely shut down. And, you know, that puts a lot more of the map in danger for Nebulum. Like, these units could just march down this ramp. You know, threaten this or go kill this. It's gonna be way harder for Nebulum to cover all these fronts now. It's like he managed to clear out this base again, but not the mines. We can't land the command center. How does it feel, Terran? How does it feel when you can't expand because of a tiny little mine? You can't build a giant building because of a tiny little mine there. That's justice right there. In the meantime, in the real game, looks like Nebulum is taking advantage of the spread out nature of Ninjube, managing to clear out this front, defend this base. Maybe he can start to threaten these bases in the bottom right, but it looks like Ninjube is starting to bring more defenders over. Is it enough though? I feel like, yeah, these vultures could just scoot right on by and get to these lower right bases. Here we go. We have just a handful of vultures, but I don't think we have any defenders here anymore. Those 4 Goliaths have left the building. Laying out a bunch of mines, going to stop any tanks or Goliaths trying to defend this. But not really going for the kill on these SCVs. I guess there's not that many here. Oh my god, dropping right on all the mines. Like, the optimal situation for Nebulum right there. And this one vulture. Think of how many, like, how much value these 3 vultures just got with those mines. It's pretty nuts. And that buys Nebulum time to set up his own tanks here. Looks like he's going to shut the door while he brutally kills all these SCVs in these 2 bases. Or just shoots the command center. That works too. So it looks like the game is stabilized just a little bit for now. He's expanding right here. Like there's like no defenders for Ninja here. He's like, all right, it's fine. I can take this base. I'm in the process of losing 2 bases right here, but that's fine. That's fine. I can take this one. Looks like all of these units are just sitting here, and I don't, I think that has probably cost Ninja, because Deadline made a lot of moves when he saw his base get dropped. I feel like if those dropships had just taken these units out, or they just walk down the ramp, that would have given him a lot more strength on the map. I just realized that these are Nebline mines, so whenever these do decide to move, they might take a ton of damage from them. But we can't afford to sit here and watch that all game. It's like Nebline is basically just trying to lock down this part of the map, stop Ninja from soaking up all the minerals in the new shared area. Oh, in the meantime, we have more drops. So we have 6 dropships full of units. Oh my god, these depots. This is like, they're just demolishing this neighborhood to rebuild high-rises or something here. All of Deadlive's army is going to be homeless. Taking out the army, but I think the armory has done its job. Does Terran even bother with armor upgrades? Oh, well, I'm going to say that. Looks like they do. Not Nebline. Looks like Nebline is saying, I really don't want to deal with that. I just don't want to defend that. So I am going to try to take out more bases on the map. 2 vultures getting up here, killing all his SCVs. I have a feeling that Ninja will be able to clean this up before Nebline can win the game, because Nebline has just decided not to deal with the drop, and this is going to destroy all of his infrastructure. I think Ninja just has enough standing army to stop what Nebline can do. More drops? Okay, looks like they are coming here to pick up these units. Looks like we did lose a few tanks to those mines. Yeah, and all these factories are in checkmate now. I mean, they could fly away, but what's that really going to get you? And I think Ninja has done it. Nebline is desperately trying to build depots. There's no time to space them out correctly. Just put them wherever you can. Looks like we do have this one more drop. Well, you do have to actually drop the drop. Here we go. Okay. So Nebline taps out after a very solid TPT from both players on Sylvan. Nebline taking the early map control, but losing to Ninjub's stronger, meaty army, and I think Ninjub had probably better movement with his blobs of tanks with those drops, kind of picking apart Nebline's map control over the course of the game. But that game's over. We're in game 2 on Shakura's temple. In the bottom right, we have Nebline in the olive, not the lime. This is not lime, right? I was gonna say if he's in the lime color, then we have a problem. But his Terran opponent winning the first game, the purple player Ninju. Now Shakura's temple, I don't know anything about TBT on this matchup really. I know those ramps are probably a real pain if you get contained. It's probably really hard to bust out if your opponent is sieged up on top of those ramps. So we'll have to see if we get to that kind of situation in this game. Does anybody who plays Starcraft 2 remember Shakura's Plateau? It's one of those awful maps that it got used for 3 years. And they kept having to change it, and no one just said, hey, we should just give up on this map. It's a 2v2 map that we tried to edit for 1v1. I think of that, I know it's dumb because they both just have Shakura's in the name, but I think of that map every time I look at this map. No, they're completely different. My weird memories aside, we have, looks like, again, just like last game, both players pretty much mirroring each other, playing very standard. No BBS, no 8 racks, which I think are basically the only, I guess that or CC first are the only extreme things you can do in this matchup, really. Yep, everything looks pretty much the same. We do have a faster scout from Ninju. I'm curious what that's about. Okay, it's not. Is it? Nope. Okay, so Neblime is not even trying to expand, or trying to scout. Sorry. Ninju is going to be lucky enough to get off the first scout, but Neblime isn't doing anything too out of the ordinary. There we go. So Neblime just looks like he's scouting after the barracks finished rather than when the barracks started, is my guess. Neblime in chat saying that he would have built in the middle of the map, but he can't. So he was rudely stopped from doing his plans by Freakling, or whoever it is made this map. Probably not Freakling. This map isn't like nuts enough for Freakling. I should actually look up who made this map before I make statements like that. Scout from Neblime. Is it going to kill? Is it going to make it down the ramp safely? No. Denied. Meanwhile, the expansion, the scout from Ninju is still up. Looks like he probably could pull it out of the base if he wanted to. Oh, he goes back in for another pass. Potentially dooming himself. What is this SRE going for? He's just going to build that command center. Looks like it. Starting that a little bit earlier than his opponent. But again, it's just... it's just a delay, not like a conscious choice, I think. I feel like this is what we saw last game with both players basically doing the same build, but Neblime just a little bit ahead, maybe just a little bit more solid in the macro. Getting anything down at the right timing. Maybe. I could be making that up. So we have the Vultures. One machine shop. Are we going to see 3 factory again from Neblime? I don't see any signs of that. We only have one guy in gas again. I feel like we would have seen at least factory 2 started by now. Well, I'm going to say that. It does start. Same time as Ninju. Vulture from Neblime. Just scooting on in here, seeing what's up, wisely deciding not to fight that. I wonder who wins that fight. Like 2 Vultures versus a Vulture and 2 Marines? I'm going to guess the 2 Vultures, but who knows. And again, like this is very similar to what we saw last game. The barracks of Ninju lifting off that much sooner. Looks like it's gonna fly in here, see how many factories Neblime has, and then try to get out, just like we saw last game. Looks like Neblime is sticking... No? Why do I keep making calls? I need to wait. I need to wait a few seconds before I make calls, because I was about to say I don't think Neblime was satisfied with how the 3-fact went last game, but we do have 3 factory. Again, we have the Vulture speed, but this time Ninju himself is getting the 3rd factory at about the same time. So maybe we're just going to see lots of Vultures colliding in the map. In the middle of the map, that is. The barracks makes it out again. Like, I would have guessed that the barracks would be like on fire and burned down by the time we made it out of the base, but clearly I have no idea what I'm talking about. Is Ninju... Okay, so Ninju's speed is done, I think. And he's getting mines. Did Neblime get mines and then speed, or did he get speed way later? Oh, we have these speed vultures coming in here. Not enough to break Neblime's defense, but speedy enough to get out of there. Yeah, I don't think Neblime got the mines yet either, so I guess Ninju just got the upgrades faster. Yeah, Neblime has just started his mines. So, I like this repairing. Like, I feel like Terran should repair more. It's so ridiculous that they don't. Like, if I could repair goons, I absolutely would. Barracks from Neblime getting shot at. It looks like it's on hold position. I don't know if it got in there to scout these factories. I should have been paying attention to that. So what do we see here in terms of follow-ups? We have Neblime adding 2 factories, and Ninju getting that early factory, or early armory, and then getting his own 2 factories just a little bit later. Now, I'm sure that he's going to add at least 1 more machine shop, right? We're not going to see like 5 factory vulture. Is that even a thing? Question mark. So again, this is really looking similar to last game in the broad strokes. The builds are a bit different, but we have Neblime getting the map control just a little bit quicker, putting down these mines on the attack paths, taking advantage of the high ground on this map. There we go. The barracks does get in here. See the factories. See that it's going to be about equivalent. It's just that Neblime got the factories and then the armory, and Ninju got the armory and then the extra factories. Is it really just 5 factories with 1 machine shop? You just only make folders. Is that? Here we go. Okay, so more machine shots coming up. Tanks and siege mode getting online. Looks like Neblime is going to try to set up maybe a siege contain on these minefields that he set up, or hopefully not directly on the minefields. So many vultures here. I don't even know. Look, apparently Neblime has decided that he can't win this fight because he's out of here. He hasn't even tried to fight it. I could not have told you that just from looking at it. And all of the vultures of Neblime retreating to the separate corner of the map. I feel like we could have seen Ninja run in and maybe like mine these tanks and kill these workers, but deciding just to repay the favor, mine up these high ground positions. Still chasing away the vultures of Neblime. Now it looks like Ninja has way more vultures. What is going on? I've never seen a TPD like this. I've never seen this many vultures like this early in the game and not have and without tanks. Like I guess I understand it in theory, but like, well, this is a lot of vultures. Tanks getting up. Siege mode is ready. You can avoid too much nonsense from these vultures. I can't even tell whose mines are whose here. Unless I zoom all the way in, it's still my purple. Are they all purple? Okay. Yeah, these are all purple. Here we go. Here's some yellow ones. So these tanks from Neblime could be in danger. They decide to be too aggressive. Look at how many vultures there are. There's like vultures at every base on this map. Why are they hiding up here? I don't know, but they got caught, and there's actually maybe not. Okay, now there's enough Ninja vultures to clean this all out. This is a ton of units down for Neblime. You see he's down like 30 supply right now. That's definitely gonna hurt. He's trying to take advantage of knowing that all of these vultures are in the top left corner of the map. The minefields being a bit annoying. Uh-oh. Just enough units here to shoot down these mines. Vultures have shown up. Looks like Neblime has managed to seize this high ground area. He's not going to get completely contained. Scanning to take out the mines of Neblime. Oh, and driving right into the mines anyway. They do take out 1 tank. Oh, another tank, Alright, damaging another tank. Could make a difference in this fight. We have a ton of vultures from Ninju fighting a bunch of tanks from Neblime. Looks like the vultures have gotten cleaned up, but it did buy time for these tanks to siege up. But they've been weakened up by the mines, and it looks like Neblime is going to win this fight in a big way. Despite that huge horde of vultures. And now Neblime's up on supply. 30 supply, so that fight was a huge swing for the Olive Terran here. I think he's deciding to stay up on the high ground, not contest the low ground directly just yet. So Neblime had a similar contain last game, and eventually Ninju was able to break out. Looks like he's going to resort to some of the old tricks. We have the dropship on the way. We have a 3rd command center, but there's no way he's going to be able to land there for a while. God, look at how many mines there are. I keep thinking there's like a huge army over here, but there's just so many mines. Neblime deciding to expand here. I don't know what the story about doing this one rather than this one is. Maybe he just expects his opponent to scan this base. I don't know. I just feel like this one's way easier to defend against vultures. You just block this off. To more resources. I just don't know. Oh, there's like not the full amount of gas at that base. Is interesting. Or that base. I imagining things. Look, the command center is like, all right, I don't want to live there. I'm just gonna keep going. Right over here. I like that. Oh, we have a Wraith. From Devlime, actually. I thought it was from the starport of Ninju. Oh, we have 2 Wraiths. Alright. Exciting action right here. Where'd that dropship go? Oh, here it is. The dropship is in the natural of Devlime. Killing a few SCVs, but there's some reinforcements spawning from the factories at exactly the right time. Should be able to chase this down. Looks like they are headed down to the main now. Going right behind the minerals. Super annoying. Killing a few workers. Oh, and then we have Wraiths killing the dropship. So the drop does some damage, but it is absolutely shut down. It does not help Ninja break out of the contain at all. But he also can just expand anyway, right? Because when you're contained, that's what you do. You just fly a base to a random corner of the map and expand anyway. Oh, the Wraiths are getting shot down. Why Goliaths? God, why Goliaths? Wraiths are so bad. Wraiths are so weak. Like, imagine if Wraiths were as good at killing ground units as, like, Mutalisk are. Imagine how different the game would be. I guess that's, like, basically Banshees from Starcraft 2. God, those things were so annoying. And it looks like Ninju has actually managed to either push back or, like, keep the contained from getting to this area of the map, and that has let him take the space. Oh, wait, oh, okay, so Nebulite must have built a command center here and then flown to here while he built that one, so I'm just dumb. In the meantime, Vultures just keep on down here, trying to mine up these tanks. Getting shot. No, I don't really like that. I think maybe that was a mistake from Nebulite to lose those Vultures. Because now there's nothing supporting these tanks. Like, not even mines here. Of course, there are plenty of tanks nearby and plenty of mines over here. Just feel like this is a weakness now for Nebulite. Wraiths still being really annoying. Not managing to delay this base, but killing a worker. Oh, and getting shot down for the dribble. The scans going up everywhere. I can't keep track of where all the scans are. Looks like we don't see any more dropships this game from Ninja. Looks like he does not want to fly into more Wraiths. Tanks are shooting something somewhere. I just don't know where. Ooh, what is going on? Oh, never mind. We do have something else. This must be a drop. Getting a decent amount of kills with this drop, but SCVs are actually like good fighting units, so they clean up by themselves. Oh, so Nebulite trying to defend with his own tank, getting killed by those mines. So a nice little drop from Ninja. In the meantime, he's trying to wrap around this contain here, scanning to kill these mines. And there's nothing on this ramp from Nebulite. Looks like he's going to try to move some units up there. Or maybe move in to take advantage of the positioning of Ninja. So Ninja is trying to break out of the contain, taking the long way around, but that buys Nebulite time to threaten this base. Oh, don't go down here. Just kill this. Yeah, you don't need to fight that. Oh, even with the high ground. Oh my god, no, this tank. Way too brave. There's still 3 tanks here to threaten this base. Not quite as scary as it was 10 seconds ago. We do have some Vultures that could scoot into that mineral line. I don't think this base has been found out, or there'd be Vultures all over it. Looks like that force from Ninja that tried to bust out, it has decided to siege up in this line. Not close enough to threaten these, but close enough to defend this area. Maybe to keep Vultures from running into that base. Looks like this base has been lifted, so Nebulite has shut it down. In the meantime, we have some Vultures that did discover the sneaky base from Nebulite. I don't know how many workers they killed there, but they forced that base to lift. And now there's only a Vulture here to defend this base. 3 tanks do show up just in time, but a good number of SCVs are going to go down. Although the Nebulite is still up a significant amount of workers. I guess the loss of this base must have been pretty major. We have some reinforcements to this flank. And we'll see another push here, trying to break this contain. Look at this unfinished eBay. Just hanging out, just being annoying. I don't know if Deadline has really scouted this out yet. He's certainly not actively trying to stop it. These vultures are going to run into it, but I think there's enough here to clean them up. It's going to come down to these mines. Looks like they are going to get shot down, but they can get too much done. They do take out one thing. We have the big weapons upgrade. So, okay, so Ninju actually, it looks like he has not started a science facility yet, so we can't get the +2 upgrade. We do have 3 dropships coming out. Looks like he's planning to make more drop plays happen. If they go as well as last game, it'll be very effective. Nebulheim has started the +2 upgrade himself, so if he can get that done, he's going to have a big upgrade lead on his opponent. For a significant amount of time, but it looks like Ninju has somehow like snuck small groups of units around the map. I don't even think these were dropped, and he just keeps threatening these bases, does a little bit of damage each time. Cutting down the economy of the opponent here. Why are Goliaths so much better at killing SCVs than tanks? Like, I feel like the 2 tanks tried to fight these SCVs, they would have been cleaned up hours ago. That was a ton of kills. There's 13 kills on that one Goliath. And this base is just gone entirely. The command center might actually burn down. And now this contain has basically been completely circumvented. Like, these tanks are covering the escape route for all these other forces to leave Ninju's section of the map. Running into some stray units here. Looks like Nebulheim has reacted quickly, pulled them away. Sieged up his tanks. Kept this front protected for now. What was that? Command center really good. I know we saw a bunch of dropships being built. Where are they now? Here they are. Gearing up to do something big with all these drops. Alright, waiting for another change in the balance of this game. Dropships have loaded up. They are moving out. I'm not sure if Nebulheim saw that or not. I know there were mines in a scan, but I don't know if the dropships were in vision. Let's see, Nebulheim trying to reinforce his contain here, but not. He hasn't tried to threaten anything on Ninju's base for the past like 5 minutes since he took out this this base right here. You know, we haven't seen him attack this base or this base. In the meantime, we do see one more dropship by itself over here. 2 vultures and 2 Goliaths. Looks like this big drop is going to be headed for this base here, the third of Nebulheim. And if this goes down, Nebulheim's going to be way behind on the income. He has more workers, but only like 2 mining bases. So if this dies, Natural will be the only mining base, which is barely any resources left. At the same time that one dropship has dropped here, all these SCVs are in danger. We have a 4th coming up for Nebulheim, but it's a long way away, and it's still gonna be vulnerable to drops. Speaking of drops, this drop finally goes in there. Like, Seashank's in melee range out of the command center, and Nebulheim says he does not want to deal with that. He taps out of the game, and that will be the R.A.T.S player Ninju winning this series. So R.A.T.S are up 2-0. At best, or at worst, they are going to tie this arbitrary segment of their team's match this past week. Now we're going to get into the next series. Very quickly. I just have to fill up on water real quick, so I'll be back in about a minute. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that. A break, guys. Just when you cast like an hour-long TBT series, you need to refuel just a little bit. But now I am ready for our third series of the night. We're going to have Pandor on Team R.A.T.S against Flash for the win from Rhynadon's Revenge. Flash being in chat right now. Oh, there we go. Alright. We're going to get in the top middle. We have the Terran player race picking to avoid the mirror matchup. The red Protoss. TL Flash for the win. And in the bottom left, the pink Terran, brave enough to stick to his main race, Pandor. So I'm curious, like, I don't know what the CPL rules are. Like, what if both players wanted to race pick in this matchup? Would we end up with a PvP? Like, do they coin flip for who gets to play the Terran? I don't know. We saw one PvT series today, didn't we? Yeah, we saw Doodle versus Bamboo. Doodle eventually winning it out with early aggression. We'll see how this one goes now. I don't know much about Pandor's play. I've seen lots of games of Flash for the win playing as Terran. I haven't seen much of his Protoss. Looking like very standard play. So far, no forward gate, no 12x. Nothing too out of the ordinary, and very standard coming out of Pandor. Seems like the like Rax FE or like build your Rax at the natural FE have become less popular lately, probably due to the rise of like forward gate and things like that for Protoss would be my guess. We see that a lot. Now I don't know that many players who still are still that greedy about their natural as Terran. So Flash for the win, deciding to scout with the probe. For a long time it was really popular to just scout with your goon. But still completely fine to scout with your probe. By the way, this name, Flash for the win, is really annoying to say as a caster, because like I can't just say Flash, because there's the real player Flash he's named after. Like when I'm saying that like casually, I can just say Flash, but like it's really annoying to say that every time. Pandor's nice and easy to say. So Flash for the win, only scouting this little corner of the base. I mean, he's fine this game, but like I've had games where I've tried to save that extra second, and like the Terran is like right here. Always feels really bad. Looks like Pandor is down to one guy in gas. Probably going to see a one fac from my Terran player today. No early zealot. Protoss. Oh, the probe just scoots right past that Marine. It's going to see everything in here. It sees the factory. Maybe, because probably couldn't count the guys in gas too well. At least he's really quick at it. We have that goon going somewhere. Looks like he's hunting down the SCV, following like the scent trail of the SCV all the way to this. Oh no, never mind. I gotta wait. I gotta wait to make these calls. I'm just trying to sound smart by calling it ahead of time. The command center is starting. The Nexus not quite started for Flash for the win. Should be going up right by now. It looks like, yeah, we have a 28 Nexus, just minus the probe that died. Oh, this second SCV getting here just in time to see the expansion timing. Probably, you can assume that that's what that probe is going to do. It's going to give Terran some relief. You're worried as Terran if you don't see the Nexus go up, by like now at the latest. It means there's something going on in their bases that's delaying that expansion. Are we seeing a third SCV coming out? So Pandor was really worried, I think, about some shenanigans. Maybe he wasn't too confident about that read of the Nexus timing. Like we see here that he's looking for proxies. Looks like he's going to try to sneak that SCV over to the natural. He's checking here for proxies too, or is he going to build something? No, okay, he's checking. Goons with range, getting on this bunker. SCV is taking a little bit of time to get here from the main. Here we go, 3 SCVs, 1 SCV per goon is the magic number to keep that bunker alive. I have not done the math on this myself to verify it, but I've been told that like for each goon shooting a bunker, if the Terran is repairing it, it's a cost of 100 minerals a minute, which is not a small amount of money to be losing. I just saw in the chat Water Serpent asking about week 4 tier 3. When is that going to be casted? I don't know exactly. We don't have we basically don't have enough casters to cast all the games. We basically have like the 2 match of the week shows on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then it's just people cast when they can cast. I don't think we have that. I don't know if we have that scheduled just yet. I think like we should like have like the caster schedule available to the public, just so they can like look ahead rather than like waiting for an announcement to be made like 5 minutes before the stream goes live. That might help people a little bit. Meanwhile, back in the game, Pandora going up to that second factory at a normal pace after getting his expansion secured. Tanks driving away the goons, just forcing them back just a little bit. We do actually have quite a few goons here. It looks like Flash for the Win going for 3 gate ops after expansion, kind of like the most like safe way you can play, and it is going to buy him the security to build his 3rd nexus here at the mineral only. The Observer just about to get in here at that critical 7-minute mark. There's so many Terran builds that diverge around now, like around 7 minutes. Oh, is this the second Observer? Okay. Alright, so this Observer has been here for a while. Looks like he's been trying to dodge scans and Goliath while I've been talking about other stuff. Here we go, pulling away very quickly. Nice reaction there. Oh, is it going to be away? Is it going to go away? Okay, it does. Seeing only 2 factors now is going to make you feel very safe as Protoss. You're going to feel completely fine expanding. Looks like Terran is building their own 3rd in the natural. Doesn't feel comfortable breaking out of the container yet, but wants to get investing in that economy. This SCV thinks it's Warcraft 3. He's trying to help build this building faster, but Terrans haven't figured out that technology just yet. The Observer does finally go down, but by this point, you could feel pretty comfortable as Protoss. I think he even saw, like, it's possible he saw the command center. We have a starport here, probably mostly for the science facility. Pandora continuing to invest in the late game, just getting a small amount of units, getting tech, getting upgrades, getting economy. In the meantime, Flash taking advantage of that, Flash for the win, I should say. Getting that 3rd base, immediately setting up for the 4th base. Nope, getting baited a bit into these siege tanks. I'm not sure if he... Okay, it looks like he lost like a goon. Taking a few shots on the others. Probe being dumb on the ramp. Here we go. Looks like he has caught that. Opting to wall this base off first before expanding, and then still getting a fairly early 4th. So in this kind of position, a Protoss is going to feel very comfortable. You kind of know exactly, like, you know what the Terran's game plan is going to be. This looks like a lot of units here from Terran, but with 3 gateways that have been producing for a while, and probably at least 1 more coming up soon, a Protoss is going to feel pretty safe for a long time. But the Observer gets sniped again. Pandora has devoted a lot of energy to getting rid of those Observers. And right when I say that, I realize that there's yet another one right in his face, scouting this buildup of factories. Probably going to trigger some more gateways from Flash for the Win. We did see Arbiter Tech getting online. Probably... Okay, I don't know if... You know what? I'm going to be brave. Probably have an Arbiter by the time Pandora feels confident enough to be aggressive. Pandora scanning the base, seeing the 4th gateway coming up. I wonder if he has not scanned the unnatural in a while. It looks like he's trying to find that tick. Like he keeps scanning the main, which is where most people would build the tech, but I'm feeling Flash has fallen to this himself. You know, he's like keeps scanning like, where's the tech, and it's just in the natural. And this could, you know, this could trick Pandora. It could make him more confident than he has right to be. Oh, okay, so this is interesting. These goons have gone up to the ramp. It could just be a misclick. Could be something I didn't see. I wonder if it's because he saw the scans and was worried about a drop, because Terran can scan ahead of drops. In the meantime, he has gone here, decided to shoot the scanner. He's had enough of that. He wants his privacy back. Pandora getting some units in position and scaring away those goons before either side takes too much damage. The science vessel popping up. That's CP. Yeah. I thought it was a radiator somehow. Still only 1 machine shop on these 5 factories, so not that many tanks. Protoss is still going to feel completely safe, not really threatened at all. No Arbiter yet. Really wants to get that Arbiter started. It takes so long, like, and you need it in time for that push. Even without it, he seems like he has plenty. Yeah, he's got plenty of gateway units are going to be on the map before any push comes out. But you really want that Arbiter started as soon as you can. In the meantime, we do see a 5th base from Protoss. Flash for the win, continuing his very aggressive expansion schedule here. This is like, basically he's playing Protoss the way that Terran complains about it, and I can appreciate that. I kind of wonder about the choice to take this base, just because it's mineral only. Could that be why? Okay, we do finally see a 2nd machine shop, but I feel like if it was a gas base, we could have seen this 2nd shop up sooner, maybe a 3rd shop. And I feel like this base is really good for Terran. Like it was, I mean, the base was nerfed because of how good it was for Terran, right? So it's still got to be a pretty strong position for Terran. Flash opting to pull his units back just a little bit more. Doesn't want to be right on the edge of the siege tanks anymore. Some vultures maybe trying to get around, getting caught by these goons. Laying down some mines to be really annoying. Are the goons going to wander into the mines? Yes. Big damage. Really annoying. Still some goons left. Are they going to keep diving into mines? Or okay, looks like they are going to defend this 5th base with even more gateways coming online. Some decently placed cannons here. Still losing some units to these vultures because vultures are dumb. But overall, probably not worth the return. I think we heard a cloaking field somewhere. Yeah, we do have, I believe, the 1st Arbiter. Don't see one anywhere else. Looks like Flash for the win, having the right idea, coming here to escort all these probes, but they're getting ahead of their defenders. That mine, getting that 1 probe, looks like these vultures will get a handful of probe kills. Mines everywhere. A ton of collateral damage on this Protoss army. But is it worth losing all of these vultures? I don't know. I mean, there's more and more Protoss units dying. Probably pulling the army around and getting these probes and getting these units is like, it has to be worth it, right? Is it enough to make up for the fact that Flash has expanded so much so fast? I don't know. So we got this 4th base here, trying to land on the fake high ground, right in vision of the observer. Protoss could maybe threaten it if they wanted, but they are a bit bruised from that push. Although I guess they're at max supply, so they're not going to get any stronger until they make a trade. Oh, big EMP on the Arbiter. feels so bad. You just finally hit 100 energy, and then it goes away. This major feels bad moment. Yeah, this base is kind of undefended. It looks like even... Oh, okay, I don't know what that was about. Maybe it was not quite optimally placed. I thought Panda was just going to pull it back until he can defend it. And looks like that triggered something in Flash for the win. He sent all his goons over here to this base. Panda are going to scramble to get his defenders here. Kind of a mirror what we saw a few seconds ago with this transfer at the same time. The command center lifts again. Another observer falls. Flash for the win decides to back out of there. Doesn't want to commit his whole army to fighting in this tiny area, which is a smart thing to do. We have Pandora pulling off a 5th base here in this high ground area. That's pretty bold. This is what Pandora needs to do to get back in this game, I think. Like, I think he's really scared to fight Flash for the win in the middle. And he just wants to take bases when he can. At some point, like, Terra needs to push out. Like, when you have Max, like, I think that's the strongest that your army's going to get, right? Like, you want to punish Protoss before they get every base on the map. But getting a 5th base as Terran always feels really great. We don't see any movement in this region from Flash for the win. We don't even see Vision there. So that base could be up for a long time before Protoss knows about it. I mean, if both sides are on even bases in this matchup, that's very good for Terran. It looks like he has decided to move out, probably waiting on this upgrade. This +2 upgrade makes a big difference. But we do have +2 attack for our Protoss too, very powerful. These tanks are so clumped. Oh, I think we saw a big EMP on that one Arbiter. Oh god, this is such a dream stasis. Can he pull it off? Oh, stasis isn't done yet. Oh man, I've done that all the time. That's rough. But the arc was very good for Protoss. Huge casualties on both sides. I think there's enough goons here to clean up these tanks. So who needs stasis when you just have Gateway Man, right? Looks like there might be enough reinforcements from Pandora to defend his bases. Oh, look at all these mines. Was there another attack here while I wasn't paying attention, or did he just like reflexively pull back? This comm set has been started and canceled so many times. But with this huge minefield here, it's going to be a long time before Protoss can threaten that. But overall, I think this is good for Protoss. You can see how much faster he can remax. He's taking this opportunity to get another Nexus, trying to restore his economic lead. And we have more Vultures trying to fly past the Terran army, lay to mines, or fly past the Protoss army, lay mines, get a bunch of mine hits on all these zealots. Not killing too many of them just yet. Oh my god, the mine killing 4 of the Vultures. Betrayal by the mine. So Flash for the win, shutting down that Vulture run by with pretty minimal casualties, I would say. And now he's almost maxed again. Looks like he's gearing up to attack this fake high ground base again. And there's not that many tanks here. I mean, there's not that many tanks on the map for Terran right now. This base could be in jeopardy here. Wants these zealots to run straight up to these tanks. Vulture's getting there in time, trying to block this one. Oh, but getting destroyed by zealots. This base is in danger. It looks like that command center is going to go down. So this base has been shut down. So it was 5 bases to 5 bases. Now it's going to be 6 to 4. Feeling a lot better for Protoss. That goon gets annihilated by like 6 tank shots. These tanks are too far forward. They've walled off the Vultures from protecting them. A ton of goons going down, but when a Protoss has such an army lead, they can afford to take trades like this so much faster to replenish for Protoss. You can see he has taken another big loss, but he's at max again. Oh, we have carriers. Kind of more trendy nowadays, rather than like building straight to carriers, is switching to carriers once you're on like all these bases and kind of just like replacing your supply losses with carriers. Because Pandora has kind of been fighting to maintain his position in this game. You know, he can't afford to make Goliaths. He's just trying to make tanks and vultures to control the ground. And suddenly Flash is going to come out with, like, oh my god, so many carriers. I didn't even see all these Stargates. Yeah, this... this is Flash just playing the Protoss of his nightmares. I guess if we saw Recall, then it would be, like, the ultimate, like, cause of R.A.T.S' blood pressure. And Flash for the win, calling himself out in the chat. Check out these interceptors. There's no capacity upgrade. There's just four fighters in each carrier, but that means there are more elite pilots. In the meantime, a push from Pandora actually making it down here to this section of the map, killing some Protoss units, but I think, well, you know, okay, oh, here we go. Okay, so Flash for the win was focusing on Pandora's base at the same time. And now we have, I mean, we have 5 carriers here, but really it's like 2.5 carriers. Assisting this push here. Actually, where, I guess, is this where all of Flash's supply is right now? Because I barely see any ground units. This push is pretty considerable. There's a vessel here to stop these GDTs, even EMPs them. Are we going to see the capacity upgrade at some point in this game? Is Flash going to realize? In the meantime, this base is a little bit threatened here. Oh my god, where'd the vessel go? The vessel is taking a break. The DT gets that siege tank. Here we go. The carriers show up. Yeah, he's even getting the shield upgrades for his carriers, but not the capacity upgrade. But who needs it, right? And Flash for the win manages to defend his base and his gateway farm in the bottom right, taking another base here at this mineral only. I think like a space off, but it doesn't really matter. We have some vultures getting around, trying to threaten, but there are pylon walls at all these bases. There's a gap here, but this is the main base. Pandora managing to reclaim this base now that the carriers have left. Or retaking this base. There's still most of the resources here are waiting to be extracted. We have the carriers flying in towards the main. Look at how much Pandora did not want to be wrinkled. And these interceptors are going to take care of it anyway. This is exciting action right there. We have vultures getting once again into this base. Scooting all the way behind the minerals. One cannon can't reach them. We're shutting down mining entirely and killing a decent amount of probes. Really annoying. Look how about more carriers. We basically have, I mean, we really have 5 carriers, right? Like I've been saying. One goes down. 2 is Goliath. Yeah, I have not done this with the carrier upgrade, but like I've done this with other upgrades that I really should have had and been like, man, why this does not feel that strong? And it's because you're missing the very critical upgrade. But even so, carriers are really strong, especially when Pandora has, you know, been struggling to keep control of the ground this entire game. And carriers are going to make quick work of this attempt to retake this base. And this is a I mean, this is a truly scary amount of carriers. Like if they had the upgrade, it'd be like game over. I think the Terran have such a hard time coming back in the game. I would like to see some Templar. I feel like Templar are such a good support unit for carriers. Storm is so good for Goliaths. Small tank push getting cleaned up. The almost didn't matter anyway because this mineral line is down. There's carriers everywhere. I can't even track all these carriers. Carriers finally coming to kill these vultures. clearing out their base again. Nothing has been sent to this base yet, just this one probe. So both players taking a beating to their economies in this game, but overall, it seems like Pandora is having the harder time recovering. I like this, all these carriers just to defend bases. Just build some cannons, man. It's like Pandora's still trying to threaten this base, not really aware that there's 12 minerals left that aren't even being mined. We have a decent sized tanks coming out here, but they're completely unassisted. Oh, big mine hits. There's no Goliaths here, so they are absolutely going to get forced to leave. Finally, some Goliaths show up. Another thing, it looks like we're on 2-2. 2-2-2 for these carriers. But 3-3 for the Goliaths. Or 3-2. Nope, 3-3. Okay. That is something that can be a concern with these like late transitions to carriers. You need to match the upgrades because like 0-0 carriers versus 3 Goliaths is just laughable. I love how much effort Pandora is putting into this base that has no resources. A ton of turrets, a ton of Goliaths here isn't enough to stop these carriers. Looks like it's enough to drive them away for now. Trying to dive on the eBay. Flash not giving up, trying to be as annoying as possible. Looks like we might have... No, definitely get. More tanks wandering in the middle of the map, getting caught out by this Protoss squad. You really don't want to do this as Terran. Tanks are so vulnerable when they're by themselves in small numbers. Oh, and the transfer gets caught. So not only are the workers going to die, but Protoss has figured out where this base is. Trying to lift out of the way. These goons could focus on it, but probably the attention is more up here on this side of the map. And the upgrade starts 27 minutes into the game when we have 11 carriers. The upgrade is started. There we go. That upgrade is so fast too. It's like 100, and it's faster than building one carrier. Like, why is that upgrade so cheap when all the scout upgrades cost you an arm and a leg, and they're like, you know, like the scout vision upgrade is like 200. Like, why did that happen? Who thought that was a good way to do things? This base is finally going to get wiped out. Looks like we might have the last of the Terran army here getting surrounded. Or not surrounded, but getting jumped on by this Protoss squad. Dude, come on. There we go. Well, alright, looks like it actually woke me up. These Protoss units, this 3 attack doing tons of damage. But overall, I think the real story of this game is 11 carriers that finally have the correct amount of fighters. And there you go. We have bar GG. There you go. That is the first game of this series. So in that game, Flash for the win, kind of winning twice because he both won the game and he, he got to show how disgusting Protoss is, which really is what all Terran players want. We're gonna get into game 2 back on Shakur's Plateau. Nope, on Shakur's Temple. I mixed it up again. Alright, in the top... Nope, in the bottom right, the blue Terran Pandora having a rough time in the late game last game. And in the top left, it's the Protoss, the red Protoss, Teal Flash for the win. Finally remembering to get the critical upgrades for Zeniths. Alright, so I'm interested to see how Pandora will follow that up, because like he went for a very late game uh, oriented build, and he kind of got slapped in the late game mostly. So I'm interested to see, like, is he still feel confident enough to go for that again, or are we going to see him try to end the game sooner, like a 4-fac or 5-fac, or even like a 2-fac? I talked about earlier how different it is to play in a series. You get time to adjust to your opponent. So we'll see what comes out of Pandora in this game. Oh man, I need more water. It's okay. So, looks like everything is standard out of both players. I talked about Shakuris earlier. Those high ground ramps and the no buildings in the middle. Overall, can be pretty gross for Terran in that sense. SCP scouting, probe scouting, earlier than normal. I think he's scouting on gas or something like that. Kind of unusual scout at this time, especially on a 4-player map. But I'm not gonna build or anything. Then what we have here, I believe the rhyme is Depot to the right, turns to light. Pandora feeling safe from Zealot pressure of this SimCity. It looks like we're not going to see that this game. It's not like the forward gate or like first Zealot kind of pressure. Core starting right on time. Whoa, and Pandora scouting like zigzag pattern. Very interesting. I don't know what that's about. I've seen Terran scout cross first, just because of like the threat of 12x that requires such an extreme reaction. If it's cross, that you want to scout that first. I've not seen Terran do this like zigzag scout. I'm curious what that's about. And we have a proxy pylon over here from Flash for the win. And full disclosure, he PM'd me personally for the build order for this build before this game. So I actually know exactly what's happening. So let me go ahead and give that away. This is what I call the Tim build, although I'm pretty sure Tim didn't actually come up with it. He's just the one who told me about it. So what we're going to see here is not a DT rush with the Citadel. We're actually going to see mass speed zealots. It is a really dumb build. It's fun to do on ladder. There's a if Terran sniffs it out and they know what to do, they can shut it down completely. Like you go like siege expand, or like you like wall off your natural and then siege, or you get a bunch of mines and you feel really safe. This map you actually can't do a completely tight wall because of this terrain here. So I guess this map actually, that makes this map strong for this build. I don't know if Terran can like build buildings here and wall that off, I guess. Another thing is if they don't see the expansion, they can look around for proxies. It looks like he does see that, so Pandora knows what to look for, but is he going to know what these gateways are bringing? I mean, I guess he's about to see Zealots pop out. He's trying to bunker rush the proxy gateways. I did not think of that. The Zealot's popping out just in time. That's gotta feel bad for Pandora. I know one thing I like to do is like build like 2 or 3 pylons here, just because I would feel really dumb if my R.A.T.S pylon shut down my whole build. I think we are gonna see a second bunker. We have siege mode. Is there a tank yet? We don't have a tank started. I feel like at this point tanks are gonna be too late. You really want mines. It might be too late to react to this in general. The speed is almost done. The gateways are up. We're getting more zealots. The goon is here. I mean, there's a second bunker. It's only gonna be 1 Marine in it. Looks like Flash is waiting for those legs to be done. They are done. A depot here trying to wall up the bunker, but there's still room to get by because of the map terrain. Flash trying to space out his zealots. All right, here we go. Pulling the trigger. running in there. Diving on the Vulture. Really smart play there. Can't leave that alive. The Reeds get bopped before they can run to 2-second bunker. The SCV is slow on the pull. This is why this build is so frustrating for Terran. It's so far outside the norm of what you expect. This tank going up. Can the SCVs drill enough to keep the Zealots off the tank? They cannot. Although they do buy enough time for the Zealots to go down. And the siege mode does get up, but is that going to save the natural? Looks like they're doing more good work blocking here. Keeping the Zealots from getting on the tank. The tank is doing so much work from the backlines here, but is it enough? Terran is down 6 workers right now. So the attack getting a lot of damage, although it looks like it might be about to be shut down. We do have 3 more Zealots coming, which is, you know, should never be discounted. But we're going to have more tanks and Vultures pop out. This command center is still alive. It could lift. So he's going to repair instead. Siege tanks are going to hit these Zealots from the top. Now, what I'm worried about is, does Protoss have a follow-up? Because they built 4 gateways on one base. Stopped mining gas for a long time. Looks like he's resumed doing that. And the Zealots are getting cleaned up. So Protoss is ahead. They're ahead 7 probes right now. But Terran has 2 bases, and the second Nexus just started. Like, in the last game, we saw the third go up at this timestamp in-game. So Protoss has definitely paid a lot to do this. Is it enough? I guess we'll have to see. I personally have never been in this kind of situation where this rush does exactly this amount of damage. Like, it either completely kills the Terran or gets completely shut down when I do it. And so, yeah, like the rest of the game is pretty much laid out from there. So this game, it's kind of hard to tell who's ahead. Terran is only behind 3 workers now, and the Natural Nexus is still not done. We do have the Robo started, but it's not gonna be done till 8:30, something like that. The Observer won't be in the Terran base 9:30 or 10 minutes. Of course, Terran's schedule has been set back considerably by this push. Vulture's trying to get in here, being blocked by this one goon on the ramp. No Zealots coming out of these gateways for now. Flash deciding to invest that at home rather than continue the pressure, which I think is the smart play. Nope, right. Right when I say that, we do see 3 more Zealots spawn here. We have a pylon here and a probe headed here, so maybe Flash is gearing up to take a base up here, which could be pretty cheeky. I don't think Terran is going to see this for a long time. I guess spoilers. I saw this part of the game at some point, so I know that there is a base going to come here. Okay, we do have these Zealots running home just to add to the army. I would like to see maybe 1 unit just sitting here waiting for the, if Terran makes some kind of all-in push. All we have is these Vultures. Look, I don't know what this SCV is doing here. I think this is the one that scouted earlier. I can't imagine we're going to see any proxies out of it at this point in the game. Something went down somewhere. Just got canceled. I don't know. Going up to 4 factories. Flash walling off his hidden base here. I don't think Terran's going to scout this for a long time. There we go. And it looks like Protoss is kind of stabilized at 2 workers up. I feel like Pandora could have squeezed out more workers in the time for the Nexus when completed, but overall, just looking at the state of this game right now, I think Protoss is a bit ahead. It's going to hurt to lose these gateways, but we have observers, we have a gateway at home, we have a decent amount of units. Looks like Flash of the Wind is trying to save his gateways. I don't like that. there's already mines set up. Mines doing some damage to Terran too, but I feel like Protoss is going to lose more than Terran. Well, I guess the mines are all gone now, and these tanks are undefended, so never mind, I'm completely wrong. He's going to cut down the tank count. Oh, sniping that mine mere inches from the face of those goons. Observer about to fly. Oh, wisely avoids flying into a turret. Do have a second observer here. Probably has checked out the main by now, right? So when you take a hidden base like this, it's really risky to transfer probes to it, and it takes a long time. So it looks like Flash is deciding just to build the probes there. Looks like he's going to go into our Arbiter Tech, getting the Archive and the Stargate. The game is going to look more and more normal as the game goes on. Alright, now we have a much more substantial force of Terran units here. We're going to force Flash for the win out of this area, kill this proxy, maybe even take a third base. We finally have an armory started, but the armory completing at 12 minutes, like that's going to set back the Terrans so much. Those upgrades get so much value. It's going to make pushes so much less threatening. They give Protoss like more time to get back in the game, and then I will have 6 workers again from this third base, which I don't think Terran knows about. I think Terran has been like checking bases. I guess they haven't checked this one at all. Units waypoint list is full. Good to know. Well, the supplies are actually pretty even, which is kind of scary for Protoss in general, especially when like 8 of it is workers. So the army count for Pandora is, threatening relative to the size of Flash for the Win, but I don't think we're going to see Pandora try to be too aggressive. We're going to see these run-bys with Vultures, but not committed to the tanks. Although, I mean, you really don't want to lose these Vultures in this kind of situation. And take a few free casualties. Being annoying with mines, but I think as soon as he got caught, he should just hold out and try it again later. We do only have 2 mines here, or 2 goons here at the wall. But some zealots spawned just in time to help hold the wall here. I definitely don't think these Vultures should be diving in there. Absolutely nothing in the Protoss production queue for a little bit there. It's kind of funny. There we go, and suddenly we have units and upgrades. Looks like we're going for a recall first, not stasis. Flash for the Win is not worried about pushes. This game, he knows these situation that his Terran opponent is in, knows that he's not going to be threatened by any big pushes anytime soon, and he wants to, he just wants to have units in the Terran base, wants to get that recall off. And we don't see that much recall defense from Pandora. I mean, we have a turret in the main and a turret in the natural, and like I said, another turret right here. So recall could be pretty devastating. We don't see any mines, we don't see any turrets. Oh, so we have this SCV getting into the space, but it is walled off for now. No cannons. So Protoss will have to bring some goons here to kill these Vultures before they immediately kill the pylon, or eventually kill the pylon, I should say. And looks like we had done that. Oh wait, what? Okay, they can get. I thought you could just move right through there, but you can't. Flash for the Win. For a minute they're panicking, gotta build like a second wall behind the first one, but there's no need for that. We have all these units here. Some goons about to watch into these mines. Dude, what? I feel like I would have lost all those goons in the same situation. Flash for the Win. Thinking about threatening some of these bases here. Getting his army on the map. Stasis and a second Arbiter are starting. We have this Arbiter done. Recall is not going to be done for like a minute and a half. Or Recall is not going to have enough energy for a minute and a half. we have a 4th base started for Pandora, or done for Pandora, I should say, which is great for him, but it's about to be attacked, and there's no Terran units here to defend. Looks like he scans it, but scan is not going to help him here. A bunch of workers are going to go down. Terran army's like not even trying to defend that base. Looks like they're just going to move up and go for the 3rd base of Protoss, but I don't know if I like that. I feel like this base is going to be a lot easier for a Flash to defend. This base is basically done for, so if these units run up to the top right, they'll be able to kill a base and save their own base, and we even have more reinforcements here. So I don't think this kind of base trade is going to work. Yeah, the tanks retreat home. They've punched a hole in the wall. I guess the vultures are going to get in here. But now these tanks are completely alone on the map. There's a Protoss army at the gates. Only 1 or 2 tanks here to defend. I know there's an arbiter right here somewhere. Probably has sprinkle energy, right? Okay. 20 seconds away, but I don't think it matters. The Protoss army is already in the Terran base. These tanks show up at possibly the worst time. Completely exposed. And it seems like Protoss has clinched out game 2 here. Even freezing these 2 tanks just to be rude. Looks like he actually blocked himself out from getting goons up the ramp. Does it really matter though? Probably not at this point in the game. Everything's kind of falling apart for Pandora. Unable to completely recover from the Tim build deployed early on in the game. Managing to keep Protoss out of his base for now, but essentially down to 1 mining base with that one not mining at all. This Nexus showing up here at this base of all reasons, or of all places, I don't know. Pandora desperately trying to find somewhere he can run by. The pylon wall is not completed, so these probes are in danger. I don't think it's enough to turn the game around. We have units right on top of the tanks, or of the factories. We have a Manor Nexus in the natural. And I don't see any way back for Pandora. And he GG's out with that minute. That's disgusting. And that means that Rhynadon's revenge is going to put a point on the board. And you know, literally I told Flash for the Win how to do this build. So I think I should get some credit for that. You know, I think some. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Co-Workgates. Thank you. Alright, we're gonna get into our final series of the map of the night. Looks like it will be a PvP. You know, the best matchup in the game, of course. And here we go. Started the bottom right for some reason. Here we go. In the top middle, the blue player, a proxy drop bear, also going by Mr. Chill on the official CPL thread. And at the bottom left, my personal hero, Goblin, in the purple Protoss. I've said this before, but like last season, I just ended up casting Goblin so much, and like, I'm pretty sure that he started off in Tier 2 last season, and now he's doing very well in Tier 1. And I've never talked to this guy. I've never contributed to his growth in any way, but I still feel proud. You know, like watching him get better at the game. So that's pretty cool. I've never seen Mr. Chill play. I thought maybe he was like the Chill, the TL admin of Yore, but apparently not. Just a similar name. So anyway, a PvP on this map, if you have ever played Protoss on the ladder, you will know that this map is 2 gate hell. I still haven't figured out how to reveal the map when we're in replay, so we'll do that later. But here, we're about to see this. The fact that there's no ramp here, that it's just flat terrain, is really good for early aggression in this matchup, like 2 gate Zealot or 3 gate Goon. And maps that are like that are really hell to play in this matchup, because those, like 2 gate and 3 gate, are really hard to deal with in general. And then you run into this whole mind game where, like, well, because 3 gate Goon is good, then I can go DTs, and then because they're gonna go DTs, I should get Robo, and then because they're gonna go Robo, I should get 3 gate Goon, and you know, you run into all this stuff. Map can be very hard to play on. Looks like we do have Goblin opting for the 2 gate himself, so we'll see if Mr. Chill knows how to deal with that. It really is like both a knowledge check and a skill check to deal with this build, and you just have to do it if you're going to play this map on the ladder, or play this race on the ladder. I mean, I feel like the only map that I've seen like played on the ladder that is better for 2 gate than this was Medusa, but that map is cursed, and I don't really want to talk about it. So poor Mr. Chill gonna get the last scout off on this 2 gate. The first Zealot is already crossing the map. Fortunately for Mr. Chill, he was wise enough to get the safety Zealot, so he won't be completely caught with his pants down here. But this is going to require a fast reaction and some good micro from the blue Protoss to avoid taking too much damage. The probe does get in here. It sees the 2nd and 3rd gateways. We'll see what the reaction is. There's a bunch of different reactions that you can take here. Now, yeah, we do have the 2nd gateway, which personally I don't like doing it like this. I feel like you're just like catching up to the other player. You're not really getting an advantage over them. You can see like the 2nd gateway is not going to be online for a while. Like we have Zealots in the blue base doing a really good job comboing with this probe. With a probe and a Zealot only take two shots together to kill a probe. It's gonna get way more damage done. Looks like we only got 1 probe killed so far. This probe is really brave. He's like trying to avenge his friend who died. He decides to pull back. But Mr. Chill kind of panicking a bit, pulling too many probes. It's really easy to fall into that when this happens to you. There's just stuff going on all over this base. Zealots kill probes pretty quickly. Well, Mr. Chill trying to a mineral glitch here, but you know, still losing probes here and there. Now he's down 3 probes. Meanwhile, Goblin opting for the expansion follow-up here with his 2 gate. There's really 2 follow-ups. You can keep making Zealots and expand, or you can, after 3 Zealots, you can get gas, so they kind of transition into a more normal game. And having done this damage, Goblin is opting to go into the expansion, but it looks like Mr. Chill's being annoying putting this here. And Goblin has gotten a forge and a cannon before expanding. This pylon is really annoying. Doesn't even need it now because Goblin doesn't have the 400 minerals to expand just yet. So right now I'm like having this like personal crisis in my head, because I always thought that when you went with the expansion follow-up, you get the Nexus and then the forge and then the cannons. But Goblin has gotten a bunch of cannons before the Nexus. I don't know if he was forced to do that by this pylon. I don't know if he felt like he did enough damage to his opponent that he can afford to, you know, play this safe with his cannons. I know that like when I do it, my cannons barely finish in time to stop the goons. Like I feel like Suicide Zealots to buy more time for the cannons, and I've definitely lost games where I wasn't good enough at doing that. So maybe getting these cannons and then the Nexus is like the safer way to follow this up. But I mean, it's starting to get a little bit scary here for Goblin. As the goons add up, they're going to be able to just demolish these slow Zealots. And the Nexus for Mr. Chill might not even be that much later. Like Mr. Chill could throw it down right now. And now this Nexus is not that far behind Goblin. You know, with some small optimizations like this Nexus could have gone down at the same time as the Nexus of his opponent. And Mr. Chill is like even on probes now. These 3 cannons, like, are they worth it? Are they going to get anything done? Oh, and there was a gas deal too. So Mr. Chill having a rough time with the micro in his base with the probes early on, but I feel like he's done a really good job recovering. He forced these cannons, he delayed the Nexus of his opponent. Goblin has a bunch of slow zealots, but, you know, when you have some critical massive goons, like silhouettes don't matter anymore until you get that speed upgrade. And Goblin had to make these cannons to survive, but they're not going to help him attack. They're not going to defend him from DTs. Like, you know, we don't see Mr. Chill going for that. They're kind of dead weight, and this is the cost of a Nexus right here in these 3 cannons, right? And Mr. Chill is so far ahead on tech. Like, we don't even have a Cyber Core started yet. Oh, nope. I'm dumb. All right, we absolutely have a core started, but no Robo, just a 3rd gateway coming. No Citadel from Goblin, and the Robo is done for Mr. Chill, and the range is done too. So the longer this goes, the better it's going to get for Mr. Chill. I think, you know, that tech advantage is going to add up. The worker lead for Goblin is not that significant. So I think this game is pretty much even now. Just more water, excuse me. We still don't see. Oh, okay, we do have Reaver done, Reaver tech done for Mr. Chill. We don't see any kind of tech follow-up for Goblin. It's like he's going to go up to 5 gateways. It's really not a Citadel. It's like you already have this many zealots. You just want to get a Citadel and go into Templar tech. Well, Mr. Chill being really brave, picking off a cannon. Now, if you can get this Reaver up, Reavers are laughably good against slow zealots. Wow, being really brave here. Trying to snipe these cannons. I feel like if he had DTs coming, I would absolutely be behind this move. But like, he already has Reavers coming. I don't think we're that worried about these cannons. And he's taken a lot of damage on these goons. I don't know if it's totally worth it. Maybe if Goblin panics and makes some more. It looks like Goblin's gonna make 1 more, just to not die to DTs. Might see another cannon or 2, which, you know, could make this a worthwhile trade. But now there are quite a few zealots, but there's also quite a few goons at home, and a Reaver about to pop. So what Mr. Chill needs to happen is for these zealots to die, and then he needs to take this Reaver with, you know, back to Goblin's natural and demolishing. Because like, we still see no tech out of Goblin. It's just gateway, man. Like, not even like Citadel. Ooh, I like this sneaky probe here from Mr. Chill. Is he going to try to hide a 3rd? It's Reaver. Look at that. Just pooping on these zealots. So much damage. They clump up so well. They're like the one Protoss unit that like can move when clumped with other units, and the Reaver just absolutely takes advantage of that. You have 2 Reavers now. A shuttle started. The egg is going down. And yeah, I guess Mr. Chill agrees with his teammates that the neutral eggs do not count as critters. They may be exterminated without guilt or remorse. I like this 1 cannon all the way back here. Is this just to stop drops, I guess? So this observer is going to see everything in Goblin's base. There's no tech at all. It's just gateways, like I've been saying. We have 4 gateways and a robo here. And I feel like that is going to give the advantage to Mr. Chill with a decent amount of micro. This is absolutely not what the slow zealots should be doing. The Reavers are going to demolish them. Just need to pull the goons back a little bit. The shuttle almost going down. The Reaver's spending too much time in the shuttle not getting shots out. Fortunately, there is this other one over here. Goblin being really aggressive here, diving on here, shield battering the shuttle. What a god! I didn't even process the shield battery. I wasn't even looking at that. So this is like exactly what Goblin didn't want to do. He just threw away his lead and like army supply and didn't get the prize units of Mr. Chill. Oh my god, there's 3 Reavers and a second shuttle coming. So no amount of cannons is going to stop you, is going to save you from 3 Reavers. And now Goblin's like army lead is reset. He does have 2 more gateways, but is that enough to make up for these Reavers? I don't think so. And we're seeing more gateways go down for Mr. Chill. Looks like he's got a pylon here ready to take his own 3rd down here in a spot that will never get scouted unless something weird happens later. Now these goons are a bit too far forward. Reavers should be attacking here. Do not try to dive on 3 Reavers. It's not worth it. Like, he got 1, but he lost a bunch of goons for that. Now this shuttle has speed now and can pick up these goons. Uh-oh. Okay, there's a flank of goons here. Can they snipe the shuttle? They do get the Reaper. So now there's 2 shuttles for 1 Reaper. Goblin taking advantage of Mr. Chill's disorganization. Eventually getting some good picks on those high-tech units. But it looks like... where's the shuttle going? Is it going to like fly around the map to drop? So we might see that. But I don't like that because this space is kind of hard to drop because, you know, there's no space behind the minerals, and these cannons can cover this area very, very well. So it looks like Goblin has macro just a bit better with those 2 extra gateways. He has managed to rebuild his gateway count lead, or gateway unit lead. This Nexus is going up, but we also have a Nexus almost done for Goblin. I did not see that. So this hasn't gone quite as well for Mr. Chill as I thought it would. After those Reavers say we do have a second one up. This shuttle is going to try to drop the natural. I don't like it. Unless maybe he just flies right over and goes to the main with speed. Let's see. Okay, a nice Scarab. And only took shield damage, so again, I'm really bad at predicting things apparently. A really big Argo Goons. But a lot of shots being wasted on these pylons. Reaver getting a shot off on a big clump of Goons. Mr. Chill pulling the probes. Shield battering the Reaver's so much value from that shield battery right now. The second Reaver makes it home. 7 kills on that Reaver. I don't know how many of those were goon from before the drop. But still lots of value on that Reaver. But still not enough ground units here from Mr. Chill to actually push out and escort these Reavers. In the meantime, both players have established a 3rd base, but Goblin is able to do a transfer here much quicker than his opponent. And he's down 3 probes, but like they're going to be more spread out. That's going to probably mean more mining overall. Looks like we have some speed cells here from Mr. Chill as his units get stuck in his own wall. Really annoying. I hate goons so much. They're so dumb. Reaper's not able to support these goons right now. And Goblin is just eating this up. Like, I was saying earlier how Goblin was doing what I thought was exactly the wrong thing, but now I feel like Mr. Chill is doing exactly the wrong thing. Like, he has a smaller army, and he keeps like letting it get split up. Probably just the unit AI getting distracted here. But we are back up to 3 Reavers, and we have 2 shuttles. So if Goblin can just get a decent base of ground units, he might finally have an army that lets them push out here. Do we still not see tech out of Goblin? Okay, we have a second forage. We have a Citadel started. Not even a robo for Goblin at 15 minutes and 3 bases. This is peak gateway, man. We have forages. What are the upgrades like? I should have looked at that. We have 1 attack for both players. Okay. Shuttle trying to get sniped. Manages to get out of the way. Reaver is getting big damage on the line of Goblin. Looks like Mr. Chill has finally broken out. It might be able to actually threaten some bases with these Reavers. We did zoom out Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get better at observing and not jerking the camera everywhere. So really, is this fight going to keep happening? Oh, and another Reaper gets sniped. Quickly picks that one up before and meet the same fate as his brother. Yeah, there were 3 Reapers at some point. Did 2 Reapers go down? Well, I wasn't paying attention. And Goblin just keeps reinforcing this front and it keeps working. I'm really surprised by how much he can just make moves. And how it can work. Another Reaper sound. Oh, the shuttle picks up at the Reaper at exactly the wrong time. We do have a DT here. It looks like Mr. Chill has finally picked up on the fact there's absolutely no tech. And there's nothing here to scout this DT, but the entire army of Mr. Chill has reset. We have a Templar here. I don't know if Storm's even done. We don't have the energy yet. It absolutely could have been sniped there. It looks like with that DT, finally, Goblin is deciding to go home. He did not respect the Reapers, but he respects the DT. Or, no, does he? Does he? I don't know. Keep making calls that just immediately get disproven. There's so many goons here for Goblin. He really is just like the goon Goblin. Look at how many gateways there are. His main base just mined out right before my eyes, but this base is completely established. He could definitely get, you know, this base or this base if he wanted to. Well, not this one for now. This is blocking it. We had the Robo going to finish at like 18 minutes into this PvP. And Mr. Chill taking this 4th base. If Goblin sees this, he might think that it's... He might think that it's Mr. Chill's 3rd and not be worried about it. This probe, looks like maybe Mr. Chill, or it looks like maybe Goblin was going to take his own sneaky base, and he might end up discovering Goblins. In the meantime, in the middle of the map, it's a big fight here. We have Templar getting off a decent storm on these goons, but Goblin pulling back really quickly. 1 Reaver in this shuttle, but nothing near enough to stop this giant ball of goons. And I'm really starting to get worried. Well, I'm beyond starting to get worried. I am worried for Mr. Chill because I think he's just hemorrhaged too many units. He's kind of relying on all these tech units, but Goblin has just made enough goons and traded them effectively enough over the course of this game. I don't know if Mr. Chill can stop him. We have this shuttle with Reaper, but it's kind of been forgotten. It's not in a good position to help in this battle. Probes trying to fight, but there's more goons than probes. There's no way that's going to work out. Templar getting sniped. The hero shield battery gets demolished. The shuttle is finally back in the fight. We're getting some big scarabs off, but I don't think it's enough. It's DG chasing this 1 goon. Goblin managed to find the 1 goon being attacked and send it away. Goblin deciding not to try to dive in the main. I would guess that this probe has scouted this hidden base here, and the army of Goblin is headed over. Right. And exactly when I say that, it's when he turns around. Come on. Come on. He was clearly headed for the bottom right, right? Like he was going down this part of the map. And he gets here and he's like, no. Okay, let's go all the way back on this part of the map and kill this base. That 1 DT continuing to swipe. He's got 3 kills. I think those are all goons already. And we saw that Robo done. Okay, looks like we have the first observer. Nope, there it is. This is the first observer of Goblin. Gonna make it to this map, or make it to the middle of the map, shut down this DT after its 4th kill. And given that, I don't think Goblin should be afraid of anything on this map anymore. There's just so many goons. He's making 10 goons at a time. Like, you can go back into speed zealots, man. You can get some Templar. But he's not interested in that. He just wants goons. And there's not enough here to hold him off. Storms are going to get big damage. He runs more goons into the storm just to force them through this meat grinder. But it's going to be good enough. I think the storms killed the egg. We have our own little storm egg here. There's some cannons set up. Not going to be enough to stop this horde of goons. Although this group of reinforcements with like 3 DTs in it, there is the observer still here. I think it's going to be enough for Goblin to take this base over. So if he splits up like this, trying to snipe the shuttle, gets the Reaver. Wow, and Mr. Chill holds that off? Dude, I'm so bad at making predictions. I think every prediction I've made has been wrong. I clearly have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm allowed to cast. It's like probably an observer died scouting this base. And we to have another gigantic wave of goons crossing the map, and these 3 DTs do get caught by observers, and they will go down really fast. More DTs. See, this is what I do when I'm losing, and I feel like this is what players should do when you feel like you're losing or like about to die in a game. Just make a bunch of DTs. I said this last week on the cast, but like, it's like in the worst case you just keep losing, and in the best case they don't have detection and you demolish everything. Trying to reel again in a gateway here. I'm not gonna have time to complete that. There's another huge set of goons here, and just nothing to follow it up, nothing to defend it from Mr. Chill. And I'm looking at the work count. Goblin's about to have like double the work count, and I'm not sure when that happened. It must have just been attrition, or like when the Daffodil went down. But this base is definitely shut down for certain now. Mr. Chill does have this mineral only, but Goblin is just expanding all over the map. It's basically just goons and nexuses for Goblin now. It's a little face here on this mineral only base. Yeah, Mr. Chill smashed down to 1 mineral base only. There's like no gas coming in, just a trickling, and just Zealous is not going to cut it. I would really like to see Goblin and something that's not goons, but getting the level 2 shields before any other upgrade here, which is funny. That Reaper that's lived so long finally goes down. I think, yeah, this base is going down. This is the last mining for Mr. Chill. I think with that, we're going to see the end of this game. Oh, these Templar are getting caught out. Storming his own DT, hidden among the goons. Is that Observer gone? Oh, here it is. Okay, so the DT can't kill everything. There you go, the last CT goes down. And basically mining is just over for Mr. Chill. He's got 400 minerals and some very long distance mining probes. But certainly not going to have time to set that up. This is going to be his last fight here. Decent storm, but Goblin pulls back really quickly, and then Mr. Chill's units run into the storm. Oh god, I've done myself so many times. Sargon trying its best, but getting smashed. Another Reaver. I feel like Mr. Chill's been like 8 Reavers over the course of this game. More big storms on the goons, but it's just not enough. The solid macro of Goblin eventually overpowering his opponent. Alright, and with that, we're going to get into the match point of our final series for the night. Going back to Shakura's Temple, not Plateau, like I said before. Alright, in the bottom right, getting out macroed in the previous game, it's Mr. Chill, aka Proxy Drop Bear in the blue Protoss. And in the top left, pretty much only making goons for the last 20 minutes of the game, it's the yellow Protoss Goblin. Now, this map in this matchup, it has the same features with the ramps that it has in any other matchup, but there is something that Crane pointed out to me. Crane, one of the assistant coaches and Tier 0 players on my team, Team Amigos, that you can't build things in the area in front of your natural, and that makes it hard to like proxy a robo there, which makes it really strong to go for like a 12 Nexus build on this map. And it doesn't look like we're going to see that from Goblin, because he's pylon scouting, which you would do if you're 12 nexing. It's not as popular anymore, but it's not completely outside the realm of reason. No signs of what we're going to see from Mr. Chill just yet. One gateway started, 4 Goblin. We could see a 2-gate here again, especially because it worked so well last game. And these ramps are a little bit wider than average. I feel like it takes 3 Zealots to block off the ramp from Zealots effectively. I could be wrong. I could be getting confused with different map. We'll see. Looks like Goblin will not be going 2-gate this game. He's getting his gas at normal time. Same thing with Mr. Chill. Probes are going to scout each other. Gateways are finishing. We see these Cyber Core started significantly earlier for Mr. Chill. I don't know if it'll end up mattering in this game, but nice little optimization there for Mr. Chill. Seems like Goblin is maybe skipping that first Zealot entirely, probably now that he's scouted his opponent. Knows that there's no 2-gate coming. He doesn't quote-unquote need that first Zealot, so it's, it can feel nice to skip that. And again, we're seeing this zigzag scouting pattern. It was from a Terran last time, but I'm really curious what that's about. Because it's going to cost Mr. Chill some time on his scout, because now his scout in the top left is going to be really delayed, and like this goon is like almost going to be popped down when that Zealot gets there. So Mr. Chill is going to be in the dark for a significant amount of time here. He does get his own Zealot out. He's going to chase this probe around, and eventually the goon's going to pop out and deny scouting in this base. Looks like the goon will not pop quite in time to deny the scout. So Goblin will, or Mr. Chill will find out. It's just a standard build so far in Goblin space. We do have a goon and Zealot. Oh, they're just going to defend the natural here. Oh. No, okay, I don't know what they're doing. I'm going to wait a few seconds and see what they're doing before I make a statement on that. Probe getting stuck. Alright, looks like they are just going to sit here, defend the natural. Doesn't want to get bottled up in his own main, and that could deny probes from being able to scout the natural. Keep his opponent in the dark a bit longer. We have a Robo started for Goblin. Could be going into a 1-gate Robo expand, which is going to be really strong on cross spawns in a map like this. And now that I said that, these units are trying to cross the map. We have 2 goons and a Zealot. Looks like it'll probably be against 3 goons when they get to Goblin's base. Goblin adding a 2nd gateway, so probably just 2-gate Robo, 3-gate Robo? Come on, bro, make it fine. What are we going to see here? Alright, looks like 2-gate Robo. Or is that a 3-gate? Is that a 3-gate? Okay, so we have 2-gate Robo into Reaver. No Observer first, so Goblin very certain that his opponent is not going for DTs. In my week 1 match, I was really confident that my opponent was not going for DTs, so I went Reaver before Observer, and I died to DTs. So I will not be doing that again. But Goblin feeling very confident here. Going Shuttle and then Reaver, so not even worried about DTs at all, not getting that Observer. Looks like he might even take goons and try to cross the map. Or maybe he'll drop and expand. So these units from Mr. Chill not really forcing the issue, kind of camping out here outside the natural. Looks like they finally are going to start to push in. Now we do have 4 goons and a Zealot versus 3 goons for just a few seconds here. I don't know if there's enough time to buy Mr. Chill a chance to get up this ramp. But let's see here. Looks like he's looking around. Oh, the goons from Goblin are going down. I don't know if I like that. That's they're going to lose their high ground advantage. 1 goon goes down. Now it's 5 goons to 4. So high ground is going to be enough. The Reaver is going to crawl over. It should shut this down. Oh, are they going to get this Reaver? Oh, it goes down. The probes trying to repair it, I guess. I don't know why they're here. But I feel like overall, that makes this good for Mr. Chill, especially if he can just throw down an expansion. I feel like that is what he should do, and he even has the money for it. But we don't see that started yet. Looks like he's going to get his own Reaver tech. Here we go. This probe must be to expand, right? Like, you reset your opponent's army count, you reset their Reaver count. That should buy you a lot of time to expand. So the expansion does get up. Goons of Mr. Chill are retreating. Going to meet up with these reinforcements here. Goblin is 2 probes ahead, though. Looks like his macro has been slightly better. But we don't see any sign of an expansion. He has to rebuild that Reaver. He's invested 200 minerals in his shuttle. There's enough goons from Mr. Chill here to chase down these goons of Goblin. He does not keep running. Oh, High Guard mischance absolutely saving that goon. Mr. Chill wisely putting this pylon here on this potential drop path. He knows that shuttles and Reavers are in play. So we're going to see another one here shortly. Oh, and now these goons from Mr. Chill are way over extended. I feel like we're just seeing this back and forth. And now there are 6 goons escorted by a shuttle and Reaver. Going to be against a similar amount of goons. We have a Reaver without a shuttle going into Observer before you get a shuttle. So this defense could come down to micro here. And some of these goons are feeling like they have to stay in the base to stop the drop. So Goblin could take advantage of this. You know, could split his opponent's army up like this. Pounding on that forward pylon. Oh, the Reaver of Goblin doesn't get a chance to shoot. The shuttle might be too slow. Might get... Okay, not going to get picked off. Take some pot shots. Mr. Chill doing a good job defending his own natural here. And, you know, it's a must. Like, there's no natural from Goblin. Seems like he is pretty committed to this attack. Looks like he's going to have a Reaver try to cross the map under its own power. Here we go. A shuttle is flying back to pick it up. So we're going to have 2 Reavers and a handful of goons against a Reaver on the ground and a larger amount of goons. So this is really going to come down to micro for both players. Mr. Chill even reinforcing this AI pylon, as Neblime calls it, but he's 57 out of 98 supply. I think he spent a little bit too much money on pylons. I appreciate the spotters. Here we go. This one is going to spot it. Is he going to pull some units down there in time? Goblin doing one of my favorite tactics, which is just drop and then spam A-click at the front. He's identified that all of the units of Mr. Chill are at the front. Now 2 Reavers are just left to run amok in the main base here, killing a bunch of probes. Goblin up 8 probes right now. And some of the goons going to defend the drop. Well, now this Reaper's in the front. Is Goblin going to dive on it? No, he's decided he's happy with his probe damage. Takes a juicy scarab hit, but he's decided that he does not need to dive in there. Doesn't need to risk the game on it just yet. Reavers dropping to kill a pylon. Potentially make themselves vulnerable to these goons. But they're just a few seconds too late. Oh, are they though? Are they? Okay. The shuttle makes it away, takes one hull damage, or hull shot. The Nexus from Goblin is about to finish, and that drop absolutely did enough damage to justify it. Now he's ahead in economy after a much later expansion. Oh, Goblin trying to go down the ramp again. Now there's a ton of goons here from Mr. Chill and his own Reavers in a shuttle, but the Reavers are back from Goblin. Oh, that's so much damage. 10 probes for Mr. Chill, and the shuttle makes it away by 1 hit. Oh, no. Mr. Chill getting a bit disorganized here. These goons running ahead of the pack, and you really don't want that. Like, pretty much his only chance in this push, or in this game, is to try to push and win right now, and every goon's going to count. He still has his full health shuttle. Oh my god, are you serious? Wow, these goons ran all the way up there to snipe that shuttle. That's actually, like, that's ghosty right there. I'm so glad I caught that on the minimap. So these 2 Reavers gonna be a big advantage. Oh, but this extra group of goons just does so much damage to Mr. Chill's army while it's on move command, and these 2 Reavers aren't gonna be enough. The shuttle gets absolutely one-shot, and now these Reavers are gonna go down. And despite heroic attempt at avenging his probes. Mr. Chill is gonna get shut down here. This push is gonna wither out here. And I think Goblin has taken this game. His more than double his opponent's workers, hasn't transferred anything to his natural yet. But Mr. Chill taps out, and Goblin takes the series 2-0. And that is going to bring our total for the night 3-1 in the favor of Reds. Of course, this is not the entire matchup between these two teams. They have the other brackets and the rest of Tier 1. But you'll have to tune in to some of the stream for that, because I'm done for tonight. Thank you for watching, everybody who tuned in. I really appreciate it. I am going to find someone to raid. Make sure you check out the rest of the CPL casts. We have them Tuesday, Wednesday, every week, and then there's sometimes there's individual casters like me who just take up a cast. Alright, looks like I'm going to host Jiraiya. Looks like he's playing some 2v2, so go give him some love. By the way, if you enjoyed my cast, go ahead and give me a follow. I'm going to try to make it a regular thing to cast on Mondays, and hopefully get some co-casters, because my voice is exhausted right now. And there we go. Goodbye, everybody.